Two inseparable best friends navigate the last weeks of high school and are invited to a gigantic house party. Together with their strange friend, they spend a long day trying to score enough alcohol to supply the party and inebriate two girls in order to kickstart their sex lives before they go off to college. Their quest is complicated after one of them falls in with two inept cops who are determined to show him a good time. Welcome to another feature presentation of Midnight Double Feature, and on this episode we're talking 2007 Superbad, directed by Greg Mottola.
Colin, it's been a while, my friend. What's happening?
Not a lot, dude. How you doing? I'm doing all right.
I'm good, dude. I'm in pain. I'm medicated. I might say random words. You might think I have Tourette's. No. But, but yeah, man. I just did this fucking. I was telling you off air. I just did this Tough Mudder event, and I'm just like, I've never done anything like that in my life, so I'm just like hurting in every joint. I'm still finding mud in my like cracks.
Oh god.
They're like okay, so I scratched my ear today and fucking some like dried mud fell out.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, no, I'm dying, so it's good that we do podcasts in chairs.
It would be weird if you just did them all standing up.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, we're just fucking standing up like stand-up comics. Yeah. Dude, we're back to our normal routine, man. We had Patrick Harrington on last week, doing Bohemian Rhapsody with you, rapping the Rhapsody, and then we had unfortunately the passing of Stan Lee, and we didn't do a upcoming attractions. We decided to do an in memoriam sort of episode, and just basically riff on Stan Lee's accomplishments and what he meant to us. So that was pretty awesome. But back to normal now. This is our first feature presentation in a while. I anticipate that Matt and I are probably going to have a pretty big upcoming attractions next week, because there is a lot of news out there. There's a lot of trailers. Dude, how you feeling? Hey, we're Superbad. We're here with a comedy. I guess it's our first outright comedy. I mean, like, we've done comedies mixed with other genres, like a horror, like Shaun of the Dead, but not really a comedy like this. What's your feeling on Superbad? Give me your thoughts. When was the first time you saw it? What are your memories with it?
Well, first, for any good podcast, you got to prep. You got to get into character. So just fucking roast up a bong real quick.
Holy shit!
God, it's a little too early for me. It's like fucking 6 a.m. here, but kind of.
Oh yeah. By the way, this is not our normal time slot that we record. So it is 6 a.m. for you. It's 12 a.m. for me.
Yeah, the same day. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this movie. I like this movie. I was gonna say I like this movie a lot, but I feel like I really want to. Like I do like it. It is funny. It's like the newest comedy I can think of that's like an American-made modern comedy that can be considered iconic. I think it's hit that point, because I remember I was in the prime of high school when this came out. What was this, like 07 or 08 or something like that?
07.
Yeah, so I would have been a junior in high school. So this was like perfect, for my kind of age group. Even though I don't really. And, these are not the guys I would have hung out with in high school. I wouldn't have been, like pounding PBRs in a friend's basement or something, like it just wasn't my kind of scene. But I can totally relate to these guys. They're very, very like relatable, with girls, and talking about, like weird boners and just, stupid nerdy kind of shit. Like I definitely get all that. And there's actually what's really funny is there's two friends of mine who were inseparable like these guys, and their names are Travis and Cameron, and these guys are super bad. Like, it was so Travis was a big white kid with a huge Jufro. And he was just like Jonah. He was just like Jonah Hill. He was extremely similar to him. He's incredibly funny, and just so easy to get along with. And and then you take like Michael. I almost said Michael Cena, like Michael Cera, John Cena.
You can't see him.
Yeah, you can't see me. But Cameron was just like that. He was tall, skinny, had glasses. Like, I mean, it was just nuts. Like, real kind of like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, real chill. Real kind of meek, and they're both awesome guys. But I mean, even in high school, like they weren't even related. They fucking lived together in the same house. Like, they just lived there. I was like, holy shit! Like, these guys are inseparable. Where one was, the other would follow. And so I've got a lot of fond memories of hanging out with those guys, and especially like in our kind of like a neighborhood where we all kind of hung out. Because I lived outside of town, so I always had to go into town to hang out with these people, and they all just lived so close in a little like neighborhood that was like right in the middle of town. It was fucking awesome. It was in the center of everything. So it has a lot of like fond memories of like when I did get a little bit older, like totally shotgunning PBRs in somebody's garage when their parents were out of town, and just doing stupid shit, getting chased in neighborhoods by people and stuff. And I like this movie a lot. I think that I gotta say, I think it's a little underrated, because I think in 10 years people are gonna look back and see Superbad and just like really see it for what it. I mean, it's not, oh my god, it's just one of the best movies of all time, but it has this crazy like modern retro feel. That's the best way I can describe it. Everything about it. It's
already 11 years old, dude.
Yeah, right. And like looking back on it now, I'm like, man, like that's so it's still so true. I mean, it's like a timeless story of just, it's a coming of age story. You've got, friends who are growing up and going separate ways, and those friends who sometimes don't realize how the positions have changed, like in the friendship, like they don't realize how things are kind of going to be, or how things are at the moment. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I like this movie a lot. Like I said, I think it's a little underrated. I think it's a lot better of like the like American kind of improv comedy wave that just like took over in like, the mid 2000s, and is still like super prevalent. Anything from, you look at like Step Brothers and The Office and like the earlier days of like that real heavy like improv kind of comedy, and that's still going on. I mean, you look at movies like the new Ghostbusters movie that came out just a couple of years ago. A lot of that stuff is so heavily improvised, comedy, and a lot of it falls flat on its face. I hate it. To be completely honest, I hate so much of that. You know me, I'm a sucker for tightly written scripts.
Like Edgar Wright comedies.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like the Cornetto trilogy. I'm just, stuff like that I'm just immediately sucked into. But this is one of those movies where I was like, man, these characters are so real, and they're so lived in and so believable that it was impossible for me to like they're improvising just enough. It's so perfect, because you could tell they're sticking to like a script where they're talking about, where they're talking about like what best porn sites to subscribe to next year.
The Fantastic Voyage.
And like you put your boner in your waistline and like all this other shit. And at one point I was like, I'll be damned if this dialogue doesn't remind me of like, I say like Pulp Fiction, like this like social thing, like things that we talk about that we don't ever really see in movies, but people absolutely talk about. Yeah. I was like, oh wow, this is really crazy. There's like all these like pop culture references and stuff like that. So that really stuck out to me, and that just seems really true. And I like that they improv enough that it's fucking hilarious. To let their talent show. But we also we have a story that we need to stick to that's hilarious in its own right, and we don't want to get bogged down. And
and it's deep. It's deeper than it looks.
Yeah,
like this story.
I absolutely. If anybody in our podcast is anybody. You're definitely Michael Cera, without a doubt, and Vela is definitely Jonah Hill.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, I like if I were watching this, and I was like, this reminds me of Zoheb and Matt, but Matt is definitely Jonah Hill. Like just something about that, like that bombastic kind of
these eyes.
Yeah, right. That's what I was like. I was like, well, who's more timid out of the two? I'm like, probably Zoe, but who's more bombastic? And I was like, definitely Bella. Not saying it's a bad thing. Matt. Yeah, not saying it's a bad thing at all. It's fucking wonderful. But I'm more like Michael Cera than I would ever be like Jonah Hill in this movie. But yeah, well, I mean, what did you think? Why the fuck did you pick this? What this is kind of like fucking random,
Yeah, well, I mean, what was I? Okay, so my original choice was Creed.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, I feel like talking about Creed, man. Like, the sequel's coming out, and like that movie just doesn't get the love that it deserves. I love that movie. Hopefully one day we'll do it on the podcast. But then I was just like flicking through Netflix, man, and there it was. There was Superbad, and I was like, God damn, this is a great movie. Like I saw it, I just saw it like sitting there, and I was like,
it just felt like a good pick. You just saw it, and it's like, it feels like a good movie I want to cover. I know exactly what you mean.
And you're totally right. It is underrated because, dude, I'm not even kidding you. This cracks my top 20. Like
really?
I 100% think that this is one of my favorite movies of all time because it's so endlessly rewatchable for me. And the way the movie goes, dude, it introduces you to Jonah Hill's character and Michael Cera's character and Christopher Mintz-Plasse' character so well. But then it keeps on escalating. When it introduces you to the two MVPs in this movie, Bill Hader and Seth Rogen, you're like, get the fuck out, man. Like, this movie is bonkers good. So, a little history. I've got a couple stories to tell on this podcast, by the way. This is one of them. So, 2007, I was watching Die Hard. It's called Die Hard 4.0 here, but over there it's called Live Free Die Hard. Went to watch that Father's Day, I think. Father's Day. With my dad. And the trailer for this came up. And man, like it was an unrestricted trailer, so like there was like a lot of swearing and like a lot of sex jokes and shit. And my dad was like, he doesn't like these kinds of movies, so he was like kind of straight faced. But I'm over here like a fucking 14-year-old, like just chuckling and shit.
Yeah.
So I was immediately like, oh, okay, this looks pretty fucking funny. Went to school I can't remember. It wouldn't have been the next day, maybe like later. And everyone's talking about this movie, dude. And I was like, fuck, I still haven't seen this movie. Eventually, one day, like my parents went out, and like I found a place to fucking download it on the internet, and I watched it. I streamed it, and I was like, is that it? Is that really, it's not really the most gross out kind of comedy? Because at that age, dude, you're kind of like wanting like so much like tits and ass and like,
yeah,
like you're wanting it to go gross out, like, but like it's not really the kind of comedy that you really appreciate as a 14-year-old. You kind of appreciate it a bit older when you get so you appreciate it when you get older.
I was gonna say 14-year-old you would love a movie called Sex Drive if you've ever seen it. Oh my god,
I've seen it.
14-year-old you would have been foaming at the mouth.
Dude, I still love that movie.
Mm-hmm. Good luck with your future ride, spaceman.
Oh boy. But how funny is Seth Green in that movie? Isn't he in that? I'm pretty sure he is.
He's the one who says that line. He's the Amish guy.
Yeah, that's right. But dude, like this was also like the beginning of these improvised comedies. Like you say you like these Edgar Wright comedies, and dude, I love them too. But this is more me. Like this 40-Year-Old Virgin, This Is the End, Pineapple Express. These are all. There's one guy behind these movies, and that's Judd Apatow. So this movie's not actually directed by Judd Apatow, but Apatow directed Knocked Up, which was the same year as this, and Knocked Up is also fantastic. The Apatow movies, the ones that he actually has a hand in directing, they do usually tend to go a bit deeper. So Knocked Up, deals with some pretty heavy issues. Fucking, what movie is it? 40-Year-Old Virgin does as well sometimes.
Yeah, this is 40.
Yeah, this is 40. They do tend to go a little bit deeper than the ones that he doesn't direct. But man, this movie kicked off like a whole wave of movies like this. And I think the same way that American Pie is for 90s kids
that's a great comparison. That's really good.
Yeah, that this is the same for that. Like, this is a movie for our kind of like generation and people and teens who grew up in the noughts. Whereas, you know, American Pie, I arrived a little late to American Pie. I was a bit too young for that shit. And like now, I actually watched like the first three pretty recently, and man, they are so cheesy now. Like, there is so much like much cringe. I like
the first one, and that's about it. Honestly.
Oh yeah,
maybe the second one. The second one's not terrible.
Yeah, no, it's not. But Reunion is kind of cheesy as well. The one that they did like pretty recently.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah, but yeah, man, this movie's outstanding. I've got a crazy story to tell. I'm sure we can. I mean, like you said, you couldn't really relate to these characters too much. I can partially. This is going to be great. I can tell this is going to be a great show. So yeah, man, without any further ado, what do you say we get into this bitch?
Let's do it, man.
Fucking awesome. We meet Seth and Evan. By the way, Seth and Evan. So this is written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They collaborate pretty frequently these days. It's kind of like it's not really an exact sort of retelling of their childhood, but it's sort of like inspired by their childhood. They wrote it when they were 13, I believe.
Yeah, I read that they started the script when they were like 13. I was like, wow, that's fucking crazy. I think at some point in the movie when I don't want to keep calling him Michael Cera, when Evan is talking to when Evan's talking to Becca, and he literally apparently what he tells her is like the story of one of their nights is like word for word what this movie is around or something that they would do a lot. So I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It's almost like it's very autobiographical. It's almost like an autobiography.
But see, doesn't it feel like that at some points as well? Like you could literally be watching like not a celebrity's life, but even your life. Like this is the shit that they're talking about here, just in this opening scene. Even like I've never signed up for porn sites. It's just not really been my thing. But you can like picture two teens like talking about this shit.
Well, that like, just being so blatant about it. I mean, just like open. I'm so like, holy shit, yeah,
yeah. Like they're just fucking talking about shit that we all used to talk about as teens, and like that's where the movie kind of opens strong. Like it's just, you know, we're not hiding anything. We're not going to bury the lead. This is what this movie's about. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What about that music too? I fucking love that song. It's like. Oh god, what is the name of that fucking song? I literally just had "Too Hot to Stop" by the Bar Case. That's fucking it. I was like, oh, that's so fucking good.
And the weird the animation. Yeah, like like it lends to the retroness, the retro feeling.
Even the Columbia logo. That's like they show the you know the iconic one, you know, her with the torch, but then it cuts to like the old school Columbia one from I was like, dude, I mean all the colors. I mean, if you'd have taken cell phones out of this movie, you could have set this thing on 75. Right. You know, there's so many different things you could have done with it.
Right, but this conversation is hilarious, dude.
Oh yeah, god, yeah.
Yeah, but they don't even like. By the way, guys, there is going to be a lot of quoting in this episode because this might be one of the most quotable movies of all time for me. Like I love this movie in terms of its quotes, man. Like, I'm sorry the Coen brothers don't direct the porn that I watch.
Because Michael Cera, I mean, he's like, you know, if I'm paying top dollar, I want some production value, you know? Like, dude, I was drinking coffee watching this and almost spit it across the living room because I was like, he's not even being, the best part is he's not even being funny about it. He's so straight-faced that it's like, oh my God, that's so fucking funny. Like, you're so serious right now.
Right. Exactly. And have you ever seen a vagina by itself? Not for me. Yeah. Oh man. Let's talk about Michael Cera and Jonah Hill just quickly. Jonah Hill is great in this movie.
Yeah,
like,
he's
really great.
And I think it obviously helps with their confidence just like pours through because he already knew Seth Rogen when they were casting this. They were actually, apparently the best of friends. Like what
they were knocked up together early in this year,
right? So they said when they were looking for a guy to play Evan, they were like, we weren't even looking for like, oh, we need a good actor, we need this, we need someone who fits the role. Like we just need someone that we can just be like best friends with and just hit it the fuck off like right away. And they said they hit it off so well with Michael Cera that was it. They're like, no, this dude's Evan. Like 100%, this dude's Evan.
Yeah.
And I think it comes across that way, just because I think Jonah Hill's confidence, he just radiates it in this movie. Michael Cera's great too,
right.
But dude, Jonah Hill, this is like, he's a show stealer. Him and Bill Hader, if you're looking at like the adults, versus like the younger kids, like out of the best two of them, we're definitely talking like Jonah Hill and Bill Hader. And it's so fucking funny. Because, the fucking car that he's driving, what car is that, dude? Like, that thing is so small. Fat guy in a little car.
Oh, my God. Well, at least you got to suck on your dad's dick.
Yeah, that's good. I will say his mom is hot, though.
She's a smoke show.
Yeah, and she's bent over and stuff. I'm like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, he parks in the faculty parking lot. Don't be such a vagina, man. I say that way too often to my best mate. Like, because we always quote this movie, and we're always like, don't be such a vagina, man. I gotta get a Red Bull before class. It's just his confidence, dude. Like they set up this character so fucking well. The way he's like sauntering down to the door and is like, they should be sucking in my ball sack. This is dialogue you don't hear in movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you hadn't heard this in movies before. Like, again, comparing it to movies like this, like American Pie, they don't even go this far.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is like...
American Pie seems tame compared to this.
Yeah, this is very... it's...
Dialogue-wise.
If you want to call it vulgar, I guess for lack of a better term, I don't consider it vulgar. I consider this the way I fucking goddamn talk, but like...
Yeah, right, exactly.
I love Lewis Black. Lewis Black's like, I say fuck so I can think of other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's filler, dude. Right. It's eventually just like filler at this point.
Right. No, exactly. Like, I do a good job of like not saying it in front of people who like my parents.
Right, yeah, same here.
I do it like I'm very good at like filtering it out, but when I'm with people who I know don't really care, like my friends or you or even on the podcast, like it's literally just fucking filler. Like I just did it just now.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, and also, like, I don't want to go past. And in between our laughings of this and the quotes, there is a plot actually, and like this is where we learned that Evan got into Dartmouth and right. Jonah's going to be going to state. And I hope you guys will miss each other. No, thank you. I won't. Why? He's great at kind of fumbling that around. Michael Cera. He's great. He's like. It's like somebody throwing him the ball, and he just starts like, he's like, that is Michael Cera's like typecast, and that's what's so great. And I don't think anybody can ever talk about Michael Cera again and not talk about This Is the End, because that's dude. That I
was just about to bring it up
because it's so self-aware, like they know that he's been typecast as that kind of guy. It's
fantastic,
and it's awesome even seeing him in like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which obviously Edgar Wright, but yeah, he's just absolutely hysterical in that. So him and This Is the End. Who's got my fucking phone?
Well, no, dude. With This Is the End, it's even more hilarious because they're playing themselves.
Fuck it, dude. Let's just cover This Is the End. Turn this shit off, dude, and we'll just go and play by play.
like This Is the End. He's playing himself, and he's just like he's in the fucking kitchen and he's getting sucked off. He's like, I got sucked off in here, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, he's got the Capri Sun. He's like, sippy, sippy.
Yeah. And Jonah Hill, everyone hates, like there's this like ongoing subplot of like Jay Baruchel hating Jonah Hill, even though everyone's like, he's the sweetest.
Oh yeah, he's like holding him the whole time. He's like, get the fuck off me.
Yeah, Jonah Hill's like, sick reference though. Your movie references off the chain. All right, back to this piece of shit, I guess. But no, dude, you're telling me you've never done this? Going to a news agency or like a supermarket or whatever and picking up the porn magazine and just looking at it?
Well, because 90% of the time, I would have ended up being with my parents, but the other percent of the time, like sometimes they put them up like high over here, so you can't there's some shops where like literally somebody has to get like a pair of of like clamps, like extendo arms, and like pull one down.
Dude, for me it was like, okay, number one, I'm trying to make sure the shop owner doesn't see.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He, like, this fucking kid in a uniform is, like, over here in this stingy section. And I'm just, like, trying to avoid him, like, his gaze. And then number two, the other thing you gotta watch out for is usually... Because the one that they pick up in this movie, like, it's, like, full-on tits out, like, on the cover. That's usually covered by like foil or some bullshit. So I'd just be like kind of like bending the packet and be like, ooh.
Well, that at this age, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not. This isn't the 70s. I can go home and just look at that on a computer. Like I don't even really care.
That's true. That's true. But like I'm talking like young. Like I'm talking like fucking like 9.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not talking about a teenager or some shit. Because when you're 9, you're aware of like your like browser history and you're very paranoid. So. Yeah, Jonah talks about flipping his boner up into his waistband.
I've never done that before.
No, I've never done that either. But he's like, I blew a load into my belly button.
I have done that. I'm just
Oh yeah, I'm doing that right now. But anyway, they talk about Becca. Basically, Joan is trying to, according to Evan, I don't insult her every chance I get. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, there's like flat out parts where he's like, yeah, fuck her, she's a bitch. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
He's so, dude, like his confidence is so good. Like, there's no, it's funny because like right now we're about to find out he's not as confident as he kind of comes out to be in front of other people. It's just with Evan.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, he's very,
it's great.
Yeah, he's very, I don't know, it's like, he's so worried about saying the wrong thing that he's just, oh, what should I say here that's like normal? I can't just be myself because, I mean, imagine if these guys just walk around talking to people like that, like, hey, what's up, Evan? Hey, motherfucker! Just like the weird shit that they do. I'm like, dude, God, no.
And this guy's just a straight up cunt that just fucking spits on him.
Yeah. Dude, I'm sorry. But, these guys have apparently been friends for however long, dude. But I'm like, if you and I were somewhere, I mean, we've been friends for a couple of, like a year now or so. If we were anywhere and somebody spit in your face, dude, teeth are coming out of their mouth. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You just spit on him. I don't care if I get my ass beat, dude. Like, that's fucked up. That's gross.
Yeah. See, but I believe it because it's Michael Cera.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I love when he's like, tell your faggot friend he can't come either, and like he's just like shaking his head. I was like, why gotta be bringing into this?
Dude, Michael Cera looks like a human bird. Like there's like he looks like at any point he like just a big quiet nice bird.
He's fucking hilarious, dude. He's like, do you want me to dive in front of his spit? But I also love, dude, I identify with Jonah's character so much. Like when they're running track here and he's just like fucking dying.
Oh hell yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh, it's great. And the guy with the fucking prosthetic runs straight past him.
I love this. Not to skip too far ahead, but him in the classroom and he's looking at Becca's tits, and I knew it as soon as it happened. I'm like, they just keep on her face and pull down.
They're gonna pan down.
And they pan back up, and she's staring. I'm like, ooh, that's a tough spot to be in, my friend. That is real bad.
I love how natural but not natural, like Evans kind of like
he tries to play it off. He's like, oh, look, there's my nest out there in a tree. Oh,
but like he like kind of like turns his neck and he's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's right. That's the right answer. Yeah.
After they walk out, she's talking to him. She's like, oh yeah, did you hear about whatever that douchebags? Did you hear about this guy's party? Blah blah. He's like, oh yeah, it's a maybe. I couldn't, like, I was laughing so fucking hard because I mean, once if you see it out of context, it's just like, oh, a normal conversation. But once you know what's happened before it, it's a maybe. Oh, dude, man.
This is Saturday was actually a really crazy night for me. And then we find out what they actually did. Oh my god, they watched porn. They fucking went to a strip club. They got kicked out. I love how it's like, oh, you guys got in? Yep, we got right in. And then they fucking get kicked out.
I fucking love McLovin. I'll fucking kill you.
yeah, fuck you.
You know what's crazy is this movie. You know, it even says introducing Christopher Mintz-Plasse, which I didn't really see him in anything else after this. The Fright Night remake, like he did some stuff for Far Cry,
Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah, and Kick-Ass. But really, like that's really about it. Like I don't remember. Like I haven't seen him in a bunch of stuff. I don't know if it's just by choice or whatever. But it's crazy to see Emma Stone like 6 or 7 names down on the credits. I'm like, wow, that's nuts. Because I mean, she and Jonah Hill are literally they're doing that Manic, special with. I think that's Netflix. Is it just Netflix that's doing that?
I think it is a Netflix original. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just to see her get like billing. I mean, because this was Jonah Hill's kind of like first starring role. This introduced Christopher Mintz-Plasse. This introduced like Emma Stone. Like this, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Regardless of whether or not you like the movie, like its place and time can't be ignored.
It opened a lot of doors. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because like for me, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, whatever the fuck, however you say his name, blew up after this because like I like Role Models. He's in that.
Yeah, that is a good movie. I actually really do like it.
He's in Year One, which isn't great, but it's still directed by what's his name? The Ghostbuster that died. What's his name?
Harold Ramis.
Yes.
Love Harold Ramis.
Yeah, me too. Kick-Ass, How to Train Your Dragon, Fright Night, Pitch Perfect. Seen him in that. Yeah, he's this kicked off a good career, man. Neighbours. He's working. But yeah, man, I love the way he walks off.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm telling you, if that clip had lasted 10 seconds longer, it would be him walking out the door and just flying away.
But okay, I've been in this situation. Like it's funny because I was a like amalgamation of Evan and Seth. Mm-hmm. Like I was confident with friends. Like this is going to be a deep episode because I'm just going to go straight into my fucking childhood. So I was confident like Seth with friends, but when talking to girls, dude, I was Evan. Like I'm not anymore. At least I don't like to think so. But yeah, man, I can 100% remember moments where this happened. Like this just this awkwardness. Like mostly it was more like, oh my god, like this is gonna happen or this is gonna happen. Like it's just so unpredictable in that situation. And then just like, yeah, you don't know what to do. Like maybe I was a bit younger than these guys actually. Now that I think about it, but because
I can't relate. I never had a problem with that. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
Oh, you motherfucker!
yeah.
I'm talking about like 8th grade or 9th grade. Like I was younger.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like no, I mean 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade were just man, that's a bad run. Those were a few of the lowest rated seasons of my life. But no, it's just really awkward because at the same time, like you don't know what to say because you like I don't know because there's. I think it also gets conflicting when you get with guys that are kind of our age because you have like the older way that you've been taught to like, oh, you open doors for ladies, you always pay for the bill, you always pull their seat up for them, and because my parents were older, so that's just kind of like the way like I learned to do things, and then you start getting into this culture where it's like, yeah, that's obsolete, like that doesn't matter anymore, like that's not cool, and it's like, oh man, like don't show up to your first date wearing khakis and a polo, seriously, don't, because that's exactly what I did. And I'm like, oh god, I'm such a dark, greasy, fucking faced kid. God damn it,
you piece of shit,
you fucking weirdo. Put the Yu-Gi-Oh cards down and fucking stop,
dude. You have no idea how many times like I've thought about like building a fucking time machine and just like traveling back and being like, be more confident, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Don't stop the Kennedy assassination or Hitler. Make sure that you build your confidence up. You fucking selfish.
Yeah,
fuck.
No, fuck that. I don't care. I don't care. It's all about me, man. It's all about me. Okay. Can we talk about how much of a joke home ec is? Because it actually is.
Dude, I didn't even. I baked nothing in home ec. It was all fucking movies, dude. I didn't do shit in there.
I did cook. But then, like, I remember the whole time remembering that, holy shit, this is a joke. Like, when the fuck am I actually ever going to be doing this? Like, okay, because as of right now, ladies, this is going to sound so attractive, but all I can cook right now is lasagna and spaghetti bolognese. And it's from home ec. That's where I learnt that shit, man. And Sanchoy Bao, and that's it. Like, I can't remember anything else we cooked. I remember cooking cookies and bullshit, but like I was like, I've burnt this. I'm sorry, whatever. We had this teacher named Miss Whitby, and she had the highest highest voice, and I was a bit of a rebel back in high school too. So I just like make fun of her voice and get kicked out. And like, man, I could if I was age now and like kind of like standing outside the classroom, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, Zoheb. Like, honestly, just shut the fuck up.
It's so weird because I was just thinking that. No, I'm just kidding. But dude, his dialogue with this home ec teacher, where he's just like, I'm sorry, and I'm cooking this fucking shitty food. No offense, and everybody knows home ec's a really easy thing, and no offense, I'm not making fun of your profession anyways, but I'm fucking 3 weeks away. Give me some fucking slack.
But I love, what I love, man? I love the cutaway. And he's like, look at Evan over there. It looks like he's having the greatest time. And it cuts away, and Evan's like with Maroki, and he's like, you know what I'm talking about, Maroki? You're embarrassing me.
Yeah, right. He's like, just leaving me, hanging me out to dry here. Later on, when they cut over, and he's dressed like a cat, like they have the flower on his face. I'm like, holy shit!
It's great, man. But yeah, Seth changes his tone when he gets told that he's going to be partnered up with Jules. And I would too, to be honest.
Yeah, God, she's still, man. It's honestly 90% of it's the voice. I don't get, like, apparently she got to like choleric or something when she was younger. I can't remember what it was, but her voice is just kind of like permanently like that, and like her voice is not supposed to be that kind of like raspy sounding. But I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's like entrancing, it's like seductive.
She's so, yeah, man. Even like back when I watched it in 2007, like 11 years ago. I was like, man, this chick is unique.
I was just gonna say, there's nobody that looks like Emma Stone, dude. That's so crazy.
Yeah, she's not. Let's see, this is gonna sound so bullshit, and maybe I'll get complaints, but she's not hot. Like, she's just unique, and I think that lends to it so much.
See, there I will.
But she is hot, actually. Yeah, but she's not the hottest,
right? Yeah,
like, she's not
your typical. She's more like the girl next door. It's not. It's not like the cheerleader like type. Which I think, because in this movie it feels like she should be that type of chick, but it's crazy because because we're so conditioned to that. But now it's not, and I feel I'm way more relatable with that. I'm like, cool. I would never try to go up and talk to if you want to type A cheerleader, typical 80s party movie girl that every guy's trying to get or whatever. Like, I would never try and do that, dude.
Like, think about Naomi from fucking American Pie. Like, she was banging. Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And look at her. Look at Emma Stone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and maybe that was another reason why when I first saw this I was a bit disappointed, because it's not like it's setting it up to be this massive, like, super hot chick, and then this guy's doing, like, pretty much running across the entire town doing this crazy shit just to kind of get in bed with her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so, like, she's so unique, and and like, her performance in this is, it's not, she doesn't get that much screen time, but she's still great, man. Like, she's in fucking La La Land, and she kills it in that. Like, she's an amazing actress now.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's doing shit with like Rachel Weisz. I just saw they're doing like a period Victorian era like movie. I was like, holy shit! And she's doing like is it Manic or Maniac on Netflix?
Maniac.
So yeah, I mean, God, she did Spider-Man and shit and Zombieland. I mean, she's great in Zombieland.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where I like really look forward to whatever she's in now. Like, she was in The Help. Did you watch The Help?
No.
Great movie. Okay. And then that's when we get this montage, this fucking weird ass montage of just like them cooking and like Seth doing these like these acts behind Emma, and she's like not even noticing.
Yeah, just totally oblivious.
He's got the fucking eggs with the fucking with the spoon. Oh my god! All right, and then we get introduced to McLovin, aka Fogel. Wow, this guy. This is all everyone was talking about from this movie.
Yeah, and I
he was like the person.
Yeah, he was like the poster boy of this movie, and like there's so many actual fake IDs, that were, like something that they tell like Spencer's or like Hot Topic, where it's like the actual McLovin like fake ID. And
I've got one.
Oh God, of course you do.
My friend went to my mate went to Hawaii, and he usually just brings me, because he travels a lot. He usually just brings me back like something tiny, and like he went to Hawaii, and he's like, dude, check this out. And he fucking gave me the Hawaii driver's license.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's like, it's taped. Like, I will literally take a photo of it and put it on the after party, because it's literally, I'm looking at it right now. Like, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I think that, he's good, and he is really funny, and it's interesting, like, his whole experience of the night is so very different from theirs, but at the same time kind of ends up like he has the more eventful night of like anybody, just like the crazy shit that happened. But I think that as a kid you love McLovin, but then when you get older and you see like
100% agree.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're gonna say. Yeah,
and I was gonna say when you see Bill Hader and him as an adult, and you realize I think when you start realizing the implications of this guy's a cop, just a cop drinking a beer in a bar, it's just so like that's not cool, dude. Like there's so much as you get older you realize it's so fucked up with those characters, and it's great.
Yeah. McLovin's great. This time around though, watching it, I think he's a little weaker than what I remember, and I think it's just got to do with age. Maybe that's just why. Like he just kind of appeals to a little more. He's a bit too geeky, a little bit, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I did go past the part where obviously the biggest plot point of the movie, fucking Jules invites Seth to the party. So how the fuck did I miss that? One of my greatest fucking moments in this movie, dude. Just that cutaway of like McLovin following the girl, and she's wearing the G-banger, and she turns around and is like, he tells her the time, and he's like, I told her what time it was.
Dude, it's great because like the editing in this is great. Like there's smash cuts of stuff, like especially the earliest one's Michael Cera being like, at least you got to tuck on your dad's dick, boom, and then we're like right to like the I love the smash cuts like that. But it's
great.
Just I mean, the teacher of the home ec dude, that woman is kind of terrifying. Like, there's something about her that
Fogel. Hi.
Like, she scares the shit out of me. I don't know what it is.
She is scary.
Yeah, I was like, this lady is repressed. I was like, she's got some shit going on at home.
She's gonna hang herself at the end of this day.
And then she's got some shit going on at home, and then you have Jonah Hill be like, just straight up telling you your job's a fucking joke, and everybody takes this class to get an A. I'm like, oh my god.
I know. That's great. But Fogel basically tells them that he's able to get a fake ID to buy alcohol. And then we get this scene in the cafeteria, dude. Wow. Because I had never seen dicks represented on screen before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was so weird, man. It was like, wow, we can do this in movies now? Like, this is... Wow, okay. I guess we're doing this. This is hilarious. This little kind of, like, cut aside. My favorite one has to be the Doctor Strangelove dick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I gotta say, this kid's he's good at it, dude.
He's fucking... It must have been the crew, right? It must have been, the crew just fucking drawing this shit and, like, let's get this out there.
And especially seeing the kid, like, click the... Remember those pins back in the day, and it was like red, blue, black, and green. Oh my god, he's got one of those pins. I was like, fuck yeah, those things were awesome.
Yeah, but like they made him stop eating fucking dick-shaped foods.
Yeah, I mean, and just one super funny thing is the kid. The whole reason it gets started is that kid who shoves his books off. He's like, pussy, And then once he tells the story of Becca and Evan walks away, that same kid walks by and shoves his books off and goes, pussy, and he's like, fuck off, dude.
It's great.
I love seeing that. That's really good, like setup and payoff, and it's so simple, It's just kind of like a throwback, if you really want to get technical. But I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I love how he reveals it to Evan. He's like, I just used to sit around all day and draw pictures of dicks. And Evan's reaction is fantastic. Dicks? like a man dick.
your dick touched Becca's foot. He's like,
yeah, yeah. You hit Becca with your foot with your dick. Oh my god! But dude, I don't know. I have no idea why. No idea why. But this is one of my favorite moments in the movie. What, I'm supposed to just sit here and eat my lunch like fucking Steven Glandzberg?
It's like, what's wrong with that kid? You know, he's just like, what's great? What's great about these? What's great about these kind of movies, especially with Judd Apatow in general, is, I mean, everything feels like a
improvised.
Well, I was improvised, but a lot of stuff feels like the sister or the cousin to Freaks and Geeks. You know, you see so much of his fingerprints on that, which I didn't really get into that till like a few months ago. Lindsay's a big fan, so
still never seen it, dude. I gotta watch it. It's on Netflix. I gotta watch it.
It's pretty good, man. I like it. I like it a lot. It's really funny, but just that social like awkwardness kind of thing with friends, and you know what people think about you and stuff like that. He's so good at getting that across. It's so great.
Yeah. So Seth goes and tells Jules that, we can get you alcohol. Well, the good thing about my back is that it's located on my cock.
Dude, that is the confidence with which he rips that off is fucking great. I was like, wow, that is like,
but it's so awkward. He's so awkward afterwards.
It sucks because it just doesn't get the laugh that I want it to. I'm like, really? That's pretty fucking funny, man. Like,
it is. Yeah, I would have laughed. I would have laughed for sure, dude. And I'm sure, you know what? Do you reckon this movie gets made today? It's pretty fucking misogynistic.
Yeah, I totally think it, because I mean, I totally think it does, just because of the outcome. Like, the whole thing is like,
yeah, the outcome saves it, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Well, because you have Becca who gets too drunk, and and Evan who's like, no, I'm not doing that, blah blah blah, and that's great. But then you cut over to Seth's situation, and it's kind of the same situation. Like, he's too fucked up, and she's like, no, like this is just not kind of going to work. Like, I could almost see Evan and Jules more so than I'd ever see like Jonah and Jules. It's just weird.
Yeah, I'm with you. So basically, yeah, he agreed. Either way, it's fine.
You guys want some alcohol? Alcoholic drinks?
He agrees to buy alcohol. The friend, who's actually a little bit hotter than Jules, wants Carl's Killer Lemonade. It's a bit gay, but whatever.
I was wondering who she was. I was like, wow. I was like, that's, I figured it a movie just because, they're like, somebody would have thought to like, because we're okay, there's Emma Stone, she's supposed to be, the chick, blah blah. It's kind of like that Family Guy where they use Meg to like walk around other girls to make the other girls seem more attractive. And I'm like, dude, like I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying I'm just surprised they didn't do it. I'm so like, I'm conditioned to see it at this point. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
As a 14-year-old, I was like, but that chick's way hotter. Yeah, right. Like, seriously, I was like, fuck. But Seth fucking storms the soccer practice.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite scenes. Seth, get off the field! The way he's yelling at him is fucking hilarious.
How fucking great is it, man? She wants my dick in and around her mouth.
Well, that, we was Dave Franco. We see,
yeah.
He's like, "Come on, dude, get off the field." Like, yeah, don't piss your pants, Kyle.
Piss your pants.
He's like, that was like 8 years ago, dude. He's like, people don't forget.
It's fucking great, man. Like, and like, just the way he kicks the fucking ball off the field.
It's so hilarious to me because, for one thing, he's not even in the game and he's participating more than Michael Cera. But then, like, the fact that it's not even like him, like, it's, you could have done the scene where it's like him, like, actually playing and kicking the ball, and like, oh, it's, he's like a badass or whatever. But it's hilarious because he's just annoyed with it. He's like, get the fuck out of here, and like kicks this thing. That's so fucking great.
It's fantastic. I love how Michael Cera is like to Dave Franco. He's just like, can you just calm down, man? It's fucking soccer.
Yeah, well,
like, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, fucking calm down, Greg. It's soccer. Fuck you, man. Hey, Greg, why don't you go piss your pants again, dude? It was like 8 years ago, asshole. God. People don't forget. Well, by the time college comes around, I'll be the Iron Chef of pounding Vaj.
Dude, the dialogue and delivery is just outstanding in this movie, man. Like, it doesn't have a parallel, I think. Like, even movies like, okay, look, because Pineapple Express is right up there for me. I know you're not that big of a fan of it, but the way like their lines feel improvised and the way it's delivered is so natural like this. I don't know how they do it, man. But anyway, Evan touches Becca's boob.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on the scene with fucking Seth on the field. He's like, girls are gonna wake up and I was so shit faced that night. I shouldn't have fucked that guy. We can be those mistakes.
We can be that mistake. That was in the trailer. I remember that moment specifically because I was like, "That's fucking hilarious."
But yes, he punches Becca in the boob, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that comes from that. Like, she wants what does she want again?
Gold Slick vodka.
Gold Slick vodka. Yeah,
it's a hilarious. It's like one of the funnier situations to me, but it's because like she knows that he doesn't mean to do it, and like he knows that he doesn't mean to do it, but he still can't get out from under it. Like it's like, man, that's so fucked up, man.
But I love the way he says bye. Yeah,
it's like, I'm sorry. Like
just that only fucking the way that Evan can say it, fucking Michael Cera can say it. Mm-hmm. Like it's only him. And then we get the fake ID scene. Holy shit, dude! I love this. Like okay, so basically Seth is freaking out because he's late and can't find Fogel. Just wow. One name? Who are you, Seal?
What kind of stupid name is that? What are you trying to be, an Irish R&B singer? Dude, I gotta say, I love this. I love the Seal line in particular because I fucking love Seal. Like I listen to Seal, and I think that's so much fucking funnier when you actually listen to it.
When I first watched this, man, I had no idea who Seal was, so it sounded even more hilarious. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Who has a name like Seal?
Yeah, right.
Like the joke went straight over my head. But anyway, he's fucking, how old is he? 25?
Yeah, right.
20.
It just is reasoning. Like, oh my God.
But dude, it was either that between that or Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad is the most commonly used name in the world.
Oh my God, dude. It's fantastic, man. It's just the chemistry. We haven't even talked about the chemistry between these three as well. Like they just riff off each other so well, man. Like I can't even. But anyway, Seth's car got towed.
Oh God, yeah. Does he? I don't even think he fucking tries for the. Does he ever even end up getting it out?
No, he doesn't give a shit. He gives no fucks, man. Like he's just because you know what? I think it lends more towards the I gotta buy alcohol like situation so I can fucking nail this girl. That's literally it. Like I think it's just kind of like, I gotta get my priorities straight.
I can't go past the line. He's like, I'm McLovin. No, you're not. No one's McLovin. McLovin's never existed because that's a made-up dumb fucking fairy tale name. You fuck. I was like,
oh my God,
dude, that is
he's so great,
hilarious.
dude. Like, fucking yells at him. I actually feel sorry for fucking Fogel sometimes.
Yeah, he calls him
like,
Fagel.
Jesus.
I was like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Fagel. Yeah. Seth and Evan go back to Evan's house. Evan's playing that game. I love when he's playing this game. He's like, what did I put that M16?
Yeah.
He's like, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
He's playing the fucking Getaway.
What game is this?
The Getaway.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I've always wondered, man. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I had to Google that, but I remember playing that game, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's like the British GTA, basically.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines in comedy history. No one's ever got a hand job in cargo shorts since Nam.
That one's really good.
Oh God! But basically,
I would say that makes me think of the fucking line from way earlier where he was like, "Didn't you get like 24 hand jobs from her and 3/4 of a blowjob? That's not the point of it." What do you mean 3/4 of a blow?
3/4.
Oh, sorry. That's like we're like half an hour into this movie, and I was like, oh my God.
We can talk about the opening credits still. It's fine. I'm sure the listeners would love that. But I love that he's like, where do you shop, Baby Gap?
Yeah. And this is what I really did when someone's like, I would be over at a friend's house and like go swimming and like my clothes would get wet or something, and they'd always have to get like their dad's clothes. Like I was fucking like 6'2" and 200 pounds.
Dude, not even fucking kidding. I asked my mate last week. I'm like, hey, you still got those fucking basketball shorts that you gave me, the ones that fucking stretch out, because I want to crash at yours, and I got like, I don't have a change of clothes, and I want to wear those. And he's like, fuck, I don't have them. And I was like, fuck. And he's like a tiny guy. He's like fucking, I don't know, waist 28 or some bullshit. And I'm like, fuck you, man. I can't deal with that shit. One more thing before we move on from this scene, man. I love Evan. He's like, he's got like no tolerance for this game. He's like, that's so bullshit. He's like, why do they even make it if you can't even win?
Right.
Oh god. They step out of the bus in this amazing slow motion sequence, and they meet up with Fogel, who looks like Aladdin.
Yeah, right. Get out of here, dude.
I love the slow motion. What the fuck from Seth?
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Oh my god. And this is kind of like that first sort of like indication that we get that Fogel and Evan are kind of like not collaborating, but they both have a secret that they can't really tell Seth, and that's Evan basically they're going to be living together, right?
Right, yeah, they're going to be roommates, which, I mean, big fucking whoop, dude. If like Seth can't handle that, like, chill the fuck out, man. You know, it's kind of weird. It's like excessive, you know?
Yeah, see, when I was in high school in year 12, which was our last year, obviously, because I had one best friend. I mean, like, you know, you have friends, but you have that one best friend. And he went to another uni, a different uni than me, a more prestigious uni, fuck you. Mm-hmm. And like, it wasn't really like a separation thing. It was more like, oh, so we're not going to be fucking going to classes together. We're not going to have recess and lunch together. It's just weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's a bromance. It's nothing else. It's just more like 5 days a week, you're kind of like hanging out with this kind of like one person, and even after like 5 days a week, like you're kind of like coming around each other's houses, fucking watching movies, you know, just having laughs and shit. And then, dude, after that, it just kind of like stopped. Like, we hang out here and there, and we like, you know, hit up the movies here and there, but we've kind of fallen out of contact, and yeah, life just took over. And like, this movie hit me in the fields, like at that time. Like, I was just like, fuck, man, I can relate to that so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like, that's why I'm really glad that, you know, like, we brought like Danny onto the podcast and stuff, because like me and him and a bunch of people were like really good friends, you know, and you know, people just grow up and they get, you know, they move farther away, and they get jobs and they have kids and stuff like that, and, you know, they're getting married, so it's like, you know, it just kind of happens. But at the same time, you see something like this, it's kind of like, man, I need to pick up the phone. You know, it's a good reminder to pick up the phone and call those people and stuff, and just, you know, hit them up.
Right.
Like, thankfully, my job I just started a few months ago, a lot of my friends like from that crew actually kind of like work there. I'm like, cool. I've got like 2 or 3 buddies that work there, and like I know exactly what you mean, you know. But I go through phases where it's like, man, oh yeah, I gotta hit this person up, dude. I haven't talked to them in forever. It's been way too long, and this movie's a good reminder to do that.
And I'm a very nostalgic person. Like, I always like think about like the good times and shit. Like, I always try and focus like more about the good memories than the bad. So I'm sorry to all the ex-girlfriends out there. Oh, Jesus. But I just love, you look like Aladdin.
Yeah, well, this whole scene coming up, where it's like all these 3 different situations. I was like, dude, this is where the movie got me. Where I was like, okay, this is absolutely fantastic. Like,
how great is it?
This is probably my favorite scene of the movie, honestly. Because I mean,
really,
it's like, that'll be $80. Then he pulls out an $80 bill.
You certainly are.
I was like, holy fuck, man, I love that. And then, you know,
no, he pulls it out of his fucking wrist.
Yeah, he like pulls it. And he's just like, oh man.
But dude,
when he sees the woman, you know, the old woman, and he's like, "Oh, can I help you with your groceries?" She's like, "Yes." He's like, "Enjoy your remaining years." She's like, "I will." You enjoy fucking Jules. He's like, "I will."
It's like savage,
dude. Just like Jonah Hill does such a good job of like realizing how hyper crazy this scene has to be to work, and he does it so, like, his eyes are so big. He's like, "I will." And I'm like,
for
holy
sure.
shit.
you can't go past the security guard though. Like just the music, like don't do it, kid. Just Johnny was like, I never had a choice.
I know. At first, I was like, okay, this is the real scene. Like that, like the dude's gonna run up and he's gonna make a run for it. But I was like, nope, we're still in La La Land here. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. But you know what? It fakes you out so well. Because honestly, the first time I saw it as a 14-year-old, I'm like, fuck, this movie got real. And then he starts like bleeding from the neck, like just that he's holding his neck. I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Oh boy. But anyway, that doesn't work. They catch a bus. I just this. I love on the bus and like Seth just watching Fogel clean the shit off his nose.
Dude, I'm laughing at when they actually get to the liquor store and he just starts, he's like, oh, Kyle's Killer 6-pack, raspberry lemonade vodka, and this, and oh yeah, Gold Slick vodka. He's like, I don't know, man, I'm like really nervous. I should have kept the best. that line is just so like, what the fuck?
I said that once. I said that once to my friends just randomly. Like we were in some kind of situation, and like I was nervous, and I was like, "Fuck! I should have kept the best. I should have won." But it's not that, man. It's Fogel's like whimpering.
And it gets, this is fucking bigger than you, Fogel. Now walk your fucking ass in there and buy this shit. God. What if I don't feel like it anymore, Seth? Then I'll fucking kill you. It's like, holy shit.
Oh God, I had to recover from that one, man. Oh my God. But Fogel walks into the convenience store, sees all the 21 and over signs. He goes to the back fridge. He spills the fucking cans, and this poor bastard. There a problem here, sir? Nope, no problem whatsoever. You should really clean this up. Someone might get hurt.
Yeah, did you make this mess?
Fuck my life. Fuck my life.
Oh man.
No, but how over the top is he with this convenience store chick? It's just like you can't hide it. He's just so nervous, and he just starts whistling.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think it's
Mindy.
It's even more intimidating because she's super attractive. It's like, oh god, like yeah. I mean, and like the intimidation factor of like a younger guy and an older woman. It's just like, oh fuck, this is so you're an adult who's attractive. Like, oh god, that's even worse.
Totally, dude. He gets fucking knocked out, and dude, first time I saw this, man, I had to rewind it and just like listen to his whimper so many times. I was because I couldn't get past it, man. He's just like, dish.
Yeah, just his general whimpering on the ground. Are you okay, mister? And what the shit was that?
I don't believe it. But like, what the shit was that?
And the dude starts pounding the bottle in the background. Like the employee comes around and just grabs the bottle and starts
pounding. He does not give a shit. Yeah. Dude, before we get that though, we get this scene. Basically, it's the reason because like we need Seth and Evan to be away from the convenience store when the police rock up. So I need to get a glimpse of these warlocks.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Me and my buddy now, like because we're fucking single creeps. We say this sometimes, but we obviously don't. This is just a part of the movie that we just quote. It's just funny, man. I need to get a glimpse of this one. My favorite part in the entire movie, this hard cut to them just like fucking sprinting down the street. He's like, she's going around the corner. Come on.
Just so desperate to get a look at something like, oh my god.
It's fantastic, man. And then they come back and they see the police car. Now, story time. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Strap yourself in. Okay. This is going to sound like a long tangent, but I promise you it's worth it. So, this is my Superbad story. My 16th birthday. So my birthday is in December, and around my birthday, it's the closest Friday. It's usually I don't know, whatever. There's a big sort of like a field in my sort of backyard. It kind of like links up with my backyard, and basically they have this massive sort of like like a little kind of like amusement sort of thing. Like there's like rides and crowds come. It's to celebrate the end of like little athletics, like this little thing that they have like competition with kids and shit. So that was on. And 16-year-old me and my friend, the best friend, that aforementioned friend earlier, we were like, you know what? Let's fucking gather some boys and just go to the other field nearby and have a few drinks for my birthday. And that's what we did. We paid one of our older friends to buy some drinks for us. Not good drinks, literally like probably like 6 beers, and the rest were all like vodka cruisers because we were young as shit. Yeah, dude, that's fucking hilarious. We took the drinks down to a nearby field, and we like there was no one else nearby, so we just kind of like sat around sort of the canteen area and just drank and just talked, had laughs. All together, probably about 15 of us. It was a decent sized crew, and we all just fucking just had a good time. Now, this is where shit gets crazy. Suddenly it gets really loud, and where we're sitting, it's kind of like roofed, so we kind of like look around, and dude, there is a police helicopter approaching us.
What the fuck?
It is approaching
while you're out in the field.
We were like kind of like in this canteen area, like overlooking the field, and then we just keep talking, and then it starts to descend, and we're like, okay, and the helicopter just keeps descending, and it fucking lands it starts to land in the field, and then we're like, okay, we're just gonna start slowly walking off. Like we just kind of like start walking off because we all know we're breaking the rules here. We are way underage. And we start walking. The helicopter ascends and starts following us.
What the fuck?
Like, dude. And so remember that big festival that I mentioned earlier? So there is a long winding path connecting the festival park to the park that we were in, like the smaller field. So we start walking our way down that winding path, and there are these like ferns, like these little trees, like bushes. We ditched the drinks. We ditched the drinks in that bush fucking little thing, and we kept on walking towards like down that path, and like at the other side of that path was kind of like a street. Like there's a street that separates the field with the festival. And dude, we saw a police car rock up at the end of the path. Yeah. And that's when the heart starts pumping. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck, dude? We're walking down the path, and dude, 5 meters ahead of us to the right, there's a alleyway that cuts into the neighborhood. So, decision has to be made. Helicopters falling you from the back. Police cars at the front. You could see the police officers getting out and walking down the path. Few of us followed the path towards the police officers, and a few of us went right. Guess which one I took?
Yeah, you went straight?
No, dude, I went right. I ran. I ran from the police.
Goddamn.
I ran from the police with about 4 or 5 other people, and it was the alleyway opened up into a cul-de-sac. And basically, we all just kind of like we hid in trees like fucking idiots. And dude, this is how desperate I was, and this is how much the adrenaline was pumping, and this is how bad things could have been. And I look back on this fucking so often because I was like, this could have gone so bad. I was so scared. I jumped over a fence and I went into someone's backyard. And they were not home. Thank God. I didn't even assess like whether they have a car in the driveway or anything like that. I just jumped the fence and just stayed in the backyard. You know, there was a pool area and they had like kind of like a covered area. I stayed under the cover and I stood there for like about 10 minutes and I could hear the helicopter kind of like circling above.
All this for a couple of fucking beer. Like, you guys went from 0 to 3 stars Grand Theft Auto in like 2 seconds, dude. Like, what the fuck did you guys do?
Right?
Like, did you kill someone to get the beer? Like,
listen. So, listen, like, I'm waiting there for about 10 to 15 minutes, right? And then, like, I peek to the left where I came from, and there's I could see a police officer
Jesus.
in the front yard.
What are you, and fucking John Connor and T2? Like, what the fuck, man?
I stepped back towards the porch, towards like the back porch, and I could hear like the rattling of the fence, like I knew like he was like fucking climbing over the fence to come get me, and he rounded the corner, and I threw my hands up, dude. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't do anything," and then he's just like, put your hands behind your back. And I put both my hands behind my back, and he led me to the front, sat me down on the curb with the other friends that got caught because they were fucking too stupid to jump over a fence. And we all sat there. They looked at our days and shit. And I was crying. I was in tears. I said, yeah, like, I'm a straight-A student. I haven't done anything wrong. I'm so sorry. Obviously I had, because I was underage drinking. And they asked us the question, which is, I think, the reason why they were out there. They asked us, "Have you guys been smashing bottles into people's windows, car windows, and house windows?" And we were like, no one did that at all. So I think while the festival was on, some other delinquents were out and about, you know, fucking people's shit up. So that's why they were around, and I think because we kind of ran, and because we were in sort of a sizable group, and we kind of seemed to be at that age, they thought it was us.
Yeah, right. They saw you. They saw a brown kid, and they were like, "This is him. Come and get him." That is
absolutely.
That is fucking crazy, dude.
That's not the end. Oh my
god.
So another thing that could have gone so bad. By the way, my parents don't even know this story, so. They don't listen to the podcast, thankfully. They escorted me home in the back of the police car.
Jesus, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, and dude, the back of that police car, like it was like a mini jail. Like there was no sort of access point for like a handle or anything to hold on to. It was just the cage at the front, like that separates the passenger cabin between the back. And we got there, and the police knocked on my house door, and thank fuck my parents weren't home, because they knocked, and they're like, do you have any way to get in? And I'm like, yeah, I've got keys. And they're like, okay, we're gonna let you go. We were gonna talk to your parents, but yeah, it's just gonna have to, that's all it's gonna have to be. And they left, and that was it.
God, the time and the resources, the time and the resources put into busting up a couple of kids who were drinking, like, holy shit, you wouldn't even bat a fucking eye where I come from.
Pol Air, that's what they call the helicopter thing, the helicopter wing, and they call it Pol Air. Fucking New South Wales police, like at least 3 cars, because the other friends like just told us that, yeah, basically the festival, like there was like a lot of cops like around, and the other friends that kept walking straight along the path just fucking managed to mingle in the fucking festival. They just, you know, blended in. It was fine. But yeah, dude, that's my story.
That's
How fucking wild is that?
I mean,
that's my 16th birthday.
It's crazy because I just got the reaction to what you guys were doing. It's just, even if you guys were, throwing fucking bottles through people's windshields and stuff, like, what? Still, I mean, God, you were like, you were. If this were Grand Theft Auto, you would have been at 3 stars. Like, what the fuck?
We were so confused, man. I was like, because I was smart enough to kind of know. I was like, surely this is a bit of an overkill response.
Yeah,
like this is wild. Why is there a helicopter chasing us, number one? Because I was curious, and after that I actually looked up, because it's publicly available, like how many helicopter units are available to New South Wales Police, and it's only 3.
Jesus.
Like, it's only 3 in the state. They get dispatched. So the fact that they used one on us, I was like, what is happening? And dude, like at the time, I was like, oh my god, they can see us. They've probably got like infrared scopes or some bullshit, like, which they probably don't.
Yeah, I mean, apparently the way these people respond to stuff, goddamn Winter Soldier is up in the helicopter waiting for you to fuck up so you can break your neck. I was like, what the fuck?
Right. And dude, you have no idea the paranoia after that, because I was expecting like a fucking letter in the mail or a phone call from the police. Like, it was somehow my parents are going to get wind of this, but nothing happened, man. Like 9 years later, here we are.
Jesus Christ, that is crazy. Like, if I were your parents, I would have been pissed just at the response. Like, you're wasting my tax money going in. And
Yeah.
like, holy shit.
See, yeah, my parents wouldn't have understood that, man. Like, they would have been like, oh my god, can you imagine the shame of like our kid being publicly hauled, from the police car in like,
Yeah.
escorted by two policemen. Oh my god, it was crazy. That's my Superbad story, man. Like, how's that? That's solid. Hey,
That's pretty good. I've got a few that I'll share sometime, not on this episode for time's sake, but dude, yeah, I've got one that's comparable to that you'll fucking love. I'm gonna save it for a good episode though.
Interesting. All right, man. Back to the fucking show. That's actually the first time I've actually really like talked about it publicly. I like, obviously I've told my friends, but yeah, wow. I guess that's out there now.
And that boy grew up to be a lawyer.
Yeah. By the way, to be a lawyer in New South Wales, you need to be deemed a fit and proper person. So I don't know if I fall under that wing, but whatever.
Not after this episode.
I'm definitely not fit, I can tell you that much. But anyway, Seth and Evan get back to this door and find the police car and look through the window and see Fogel talking to the two policemen and the convenience store clerk. And dude, like I said, we get probably my two favorite characters in this entire movie. I'm not even kidding. Just like, I like them so much better than Seth and Evan, only because, they use kind of sparingly, but also their chemistry is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like Bill, and their performances are great. Bill Hader is amazing. Like, have I told you I've met Bill Hader?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember when,
must have,
but I mean, this is a great story for that too.
Oh, well, it's not a story. Like, I used to work at Hoyt's at the cinema, like kind of like the head office thing, and like they were just giving out like premiere passes to Trainwreck, the one with Amy Schumer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was there, and like I fucking shook hands with him, man. I was like, oh my god, I fucking love you.
You know what that sounded like? That sounded like a goddamn story, Zoheb. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're like checking your watch.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he's super nice. But yeah, man, like everything I've seen him in, he fucking kills it all the fucking time. I love this guy.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. He's going to be in the new It movie. I mean, he does Bob's Burgers all the time. Like, I'm like, oh my god, dude, he's fucking great. And his improv, nobody improvs and riffs like this dude. He's just, I don't know, his delivery is insanely good, but at the same time, the shit that comes flying out of his mouth is like, wow, that is not what I thought you were going to say.
Dude, he's got probably one of my favorite parts in Pineapple Express, and I think it's only in the extended version. Basically, they're testing weed on him, and they're like, how do you feel? And he's like, I feel like a stick of butter just melting on a big old pile of flapjacks.
Right.
And he's like,
well, because I love his humor is not like it's not like a whole lot of his peers. Like, it's not a lot of dick jokes and like, like not cruder humor. Like, he's just bizarrely wonderful, and like everything that he does, like his
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, it's like
you can't put a name on it. You can't put a definition on it. It's just some kind of humor. Like, even in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, in Knocked Up, dude, I love him in Knocked Up, man. Like, fucking Katherine Heigl's like vomiting into a bin, and like he's on the phone, and he's like, no, actually, he's like, you look like Jabba the Hutt dying. Like, it's like,
dude. So it's just McLovin. Yeah, so technically I don't have a first name, so you don't. He said I don't have a first name, so you don't have to worry about my last name or something like that. I was like, what the fuck?
But yeah, that's another thing. Seth Rogen, dude. I really like Seth Rogen in this as well. Like, I love this might be my favorite scene in the entire movie, I think. Just them trying to figure out from this woman, like, and how fucking backwards they have the description.
Oh, yeah. He's like, she's like, he was look like you. He's American. He's like, okay, so Jew. He's like, weird crime for Jewish. A Jew. Weird crime.
But yeah, I love Seth Rogen like piecing it together. She's like, he was like you. Oh, so he's Jewish.
Yeah. Well, I love, my God. Like, and especially when you go into the scene with Jonah Hill and them freaking outside, that is him getting hit by the car is like, that's so. I mean, I remember that being in the trailer and it being such a big, like, what the fuck? Like, that was a big selling point because the way he flies, it's like, it's crazy. Dude, man. It looks great.
He lands hilariously. He gets hit a couple times by cars in this, and I was like, fuck me, Jesus.
Yeah, right.
So that's Joe Lo Truglio. Everyone will probably know him as Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but he's been in heaps of shit, man. He's hilarious. I love this guy. Apparently someone has an exam.
All right, yeah, that's so fucking great.
I can't go past that, man.
Well,
but yeah, basically,
they're fucking.
Oh, no, go on.
I would say they're like, because I don't want to skip over the scene where Seth gets run over, but when they're talking to him, and he's like, a lot of single names these days, Rafe, Chingy, Shakira. He's like, actually, we arrested a man lady who was legally named Fuck. I mean, it was Vietnamese, it was a PH, but
That's not... See, that alone is not that hilarious. It's more Bill Hader's, like, delivery of the word fuck.
Yeah, because it's not what you think he's going to say. And it's like, oh my God, that's so fucking funny. Like, because I watch everything with subtitles on. And even though
me too. Me too.
And I'm sitting there watching the subtitle, but it's still, even though I'm reading it, it's still fucking hilarious, like the way he says it.
Yeah, and absolutely.
It's so funny how much of a loser the guy is that fucking hit Seth Rogen, though. I mean, Seth's the character that's supposed to be Seth.
$7?
What are you, fucking $6? Ow, my back. He's like, oh, please shut the fuck up.
He's like, it's all I have, man. It's all I have.
Because the guy who directed this also directed Paul, with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
I like Paul.
I love Paul. We'll definitely be covering that shit someday because it also has Bill Hader and this who I can't remember that fucking actor's name that hits
Jason Bateman.
No, that hits Jonah Hill's character in the car.
Oh, Joe Truglio or something.
That's that's not what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm not going to even try to say this shit because I'm going to fuck it up. But yeah, they're great.
I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. Yeah. Bill Hader's great, man. You're an organ donor. Oh God. But yeah, basically they accept a ride from, what's this guy's name? Francis, the driver, he's billed as.
Yeah, Francis, the driver.
But for some reason, man, like, just the way it's shot as well, like he looks like a guy, and then, like, it cuts back to him, and he's just standing. You guys know a guy named Jimmy? You totally look like his brother. Man. Well, obviously that's setting up the thing later, but it's still hilarious, man. Just the way this situation kind of unfolds. This movie, that's another thing. This movie is totally an adventure.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to classify it as something else other than a comedy, because comedy can be anything. It can be action comedy, it can be romantic comedy, it can be just horror comedy like Shaun of the Dead, but this is pretty much an adventure comedy, right?
Yeah, like it's kind of an epic, it's kind of in a weird way, it's like the Odyssey. It's like we meet some characters along the way, we get sucked into the night, like we have to, you got to rub elbows with people when you need something that you can't get. This is kind of, everything that's going on is illegal, so they're going to have to go to some sketcy people to get what they want. That's kind of like the fun. It's kind of like like a good example is like Sex Drive, not that that's anything like super illegal that's going on, but it's hilarious because you have to go, like it's a conquest is what it is. It's like a coming of age kind of like conquest movie, but it never, I think that a sign of the times is the way that these movies end now. They never end with the guy kind of like getting the chick and everything going great and blah, blah, like those don't end. Either one of these movies, Sex Drive or this movie, don't end this way. And I think that's fucking great. I think that's where these things kind of get broken down now, where we're seeing people who were raised on those kind of movies and then them looking at real life and being like, dude, that's not how this works. And then now it's their turn to get to kind of make movies and tell like how real life goes. I love that. I love that shit.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I completely agree. You guys have MySpace or?
God, he's so fucking creepy, dude.
Dude, talk about like a dated joke as well. Like, I don't know, because MySpace, was it still around then? I'm pretty sure it was.
I think so, but I mean, I think I've had Facebook for like 10 or 11 years. So, I mean,
yeah, I think. No, I was going to say, I think I've had Facebook since 2008, so this is 2007. Maybe it was around the time of MySpace.
Yeah, I think it's just showing, I don't know, I thought it was intentional because it's like, no kid is really, using MySpace, they're using Facebook.
Right. But I love how he's like, you guys want to come sit up here?
No, we're good.
He's such a weirdo, man. I fucking love him. We gotta look in on Fogel's situation with the cops. Basically, there's no semen database, so they're not going to find this guy.
I thought everything I touch, it's just going to be covered in semen. And he's like, that's not the case.
God, dude. Like, it's Seth Rogen's, like, voice as well that makes things even more funnier.
Yeah, because
like
just the way, like, he's got this kind of like
a compressed neck.
Yeah, like the shit that he says to fuck her and then have her write you a check for $12, like in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like, I fucking love that line just because of his delivery. Like, he's like he sounds like he needs to voice an animated bear at some point. He's got to, because he sounds just like he sounds like a big animated bear to me, like that voice. So it's a deeper voice too, and I think he's Canadian. I think. I could be okay. Yeah, so he's got like a little bit of an accent. It's nothing crazy, but like,
yeah, he's from Vancouver. Yeah,
yeah. I love his voice. So he's great. I really hope he's done some animated stuff where he's looking to do it, because he would be a really good voice actor.
He plays Mantis in Kung Fu Panda.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah, he definitely does have a great voice. I love him. They're also doing something in this scene that I totally think real cops do. And that's putting on the sirens while going through the fucking red lights.
Fuck him. I'm not stopping.
Yeah, right. Like, you kind of like, come on. If you're a cop, you must. And I love all the Star Wars references. Learning you are, young Padawan.
Yeah, the Force is strong in this one.
Oh, it's fantastic. But yeah, before we get to this party scene, what do you say we take a break around here?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Great. Fantastic. We'll be back, guys. See you soon. Hey guys, it's Zoheb just breaking in the middle here. We've got a few things that we just wanted to put out there for any newcomers, or if you're not part of our growing community, maybe this could benefit you too. Firstly, we just wanted to let the newbies know about our episodes and the way Midnight Double Feature is currently structured. As you know, right now you're listening to one of our feature presentations. When we started the podcast, we basically built the show around our feature presentations. These are movies that we choose to cover and basically go through everything in the movie that's worth talking about sequentially. These episodes are generally longer, and we're definitely looking at options to spice up our feature presentations by getting guests on, very much like LSG Media's Matt Anderson in our Get Out feature presentation. We also have our upcoming attraction episodes. Typically these come out during the week and are much shorter than our feature presentations. These are hosted by Matt Vella and basically consist of a conversation between Matt and I about any movie news that's worth talking about, quick reviews of movies that are currently out in the cinemas, and other hijinks. Finally, we have our special features. These are usually one-off special episodes that are mostly experimental and don't really have any specific definition. They could be a sit-down with a cast or crew member, a conversation between the hosts, or just a straight-up different thing that might not even relate to film. Before I let you get back to the episode, I just wanted to thank our listeners and supporters. We definitely couldn't have done any of this without your guys' constant support. If, for some reason, you're not a part of our growing community, head to our socials. We've got 2 pages on Facebook, Midnight Double Feature, which is our main page and has our formal announcements, and we also have the After Party, which is where we post memes, news, and teasers of what's next to come on Midnight Double Feature. We're also on Instagram, which is @Midnight Double Feature, and Twitter, which is @MDFPod. Thanks again for listening, guys. Back to the show. Alright, guys, we are back. Freshly squeezed, as I like to say. It's still weird, like, I don't know what that really could pertain to, but use your imagination. So, we're back with Superbad, dude. We rock up at this party. And, dude, this is like this is where the movie kind of like goes from like a 9 to a 10.
Yeah, this definitely ratchets everything up.
Right. In terms of not in terms of like in terms of quality and in terms of like stakes as well, right? Because like these kids are like these guys have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen like right now. Like, you know what I mean? And they basically rock up with this loser who thinks he's a part of the crew and he's loved. We all know someone like this, right?
Oh god, yeah.
Like, we all know a loser who basically thinks that, you know, they're the talk of the town, or, you know, everyone loves them. And basically these two fucking dumbass kids put their faith in him. And one thing I love, dude, is like when they're following him. Oh, by the way, welcome to the Thunderdome is also another thing that we riff on. I love when they're following him and like these two girls walk past with like drinks, and then he turns around and does this thing with his eyes. It's like, whoa. Oh boy. Picks up the phone. Basically they're scoping it out for alcohol. It's basically a treasure trove, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Seth like, great, let's grab one of these buckets and go. And Michael Cera's like, are you out of your mind, man? You can carry those. And then, dude, that's when we get the fucking showdown.
Oh yeah, like why is he beating the shit out of this dude? I didn't quite get it. Like, I don't think they really explained, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. He just fucking hates him.
No. Well, when he's on the phone, he catches him on the phone, and like he mentions, he's like, "You calling your freaky little friends again?" Like something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that really kind of means, but again, we don't really need much. It's more like that this guy's a loser. Like, you get so much character development from the actions and not really like what's being said, which is great because like they don't really spoon feed you with it. But this guy, dude, this guy's from heaps of shit. Probably most memorably Pineapple. You've seen Pineapple Express, right?
Yeah, in like bits and pieces and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so in Pineapple Express, there's these two hitmen. One of them is played by Craig Ferguson, who's the guy from fucking This Is the End. And the other guy is this guy. Basically, in that movie, this guy just wants to fucking go home and have dinner with his wife. But this guy's pretty funny too. He kind of gets a short shift in this, but whatever. Basically, takes fucking whatever this guy's name is, I fucking forgot, and kicks his ass. But I love Mark. Mark, come on. Mark, come on. like you know, like convincing him it's cool, and then convincing the kids that it's all right. You know what? All right, it's fine. Like, it's just such an awkward situation to be in.
Yeah, because they don't know anybody there. This guy's kind of like their window in. And it's like, oh man, that's really cringy to watch.
Right. Tiger got out of the cage, man. I'm so sorry.
I couldn't believe it when he punched him. I was like, damn, dude, he fucking got a good punch. And then he just kind of like shrugs it off. It's like, oh.
Yeah, he goes, the other guy gets a bit dirty and kicks him in the balls, eh? But whatever. And then we get, we cut back to McLovin's little situation. What are the cops' names again? Slater and...
shit. Slater and Michaels.
So, yeah, so Slater and Michaels are responding to a call in a bar. You should always take a call in a bar because you might get a free drink out of it. And basically they come up to this situation. Stop him, McLovin! Stop him!
Oh, dude, I love that he fucking Seth Rogen pulls his gun out. He's like, should I shoot him? He's like, no.
It's so fucking stupid. I love him. And basically McLovin gets crash tackled, and this bum basically just fucking knocks himself out. Nice!
Yeah, McLovin, nice!
Oh my god. But I love that they're both like brandishing guns like that. Like, no cop would be brandishing guns in this situation.
Like, as soon as they pull them out, everybody's just like,
yeah. Like the guy's not even, he doesn't even have a weapon or anything. Like, he's not a danger to anyone's lives. Like, it's fucking hilarious. We cut back to the party. Seth starts dancing with this girl.
Oh my god, this shit.
Oh my god,
so fucking. Oh man, I've never.
Hey, You dance hard.
I've never heard about this happening to anybody. Like, but I mean, no. I don't know. I buy it though. This sounds like this happened to somebody at some point. You know?
Yeah, this sounds way too specific, to not be real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then like you kind of like question the logistics of it. Like, is she wearing underwear? Like.
Like God, like how heavy is the flow? Like, good God.
Oh God. I just died inside. She's a fucking freak, but also a weirdo. And basically we cut back to Evan. He gets a call from Becca, and this is, you know, where you get the fucking signal loss or whatever.
I swear I'll bitch slap you so fucking hard.
She's like, hey, it's rude. That's rude.
He's like, fuck you, you suck.
Oh my God. Seth finds out about the period blood. Dude, it's blood.
Oh my God.
I love these guys.
Yeah, it's like, come here, look at this guy's pants. This jerk off has period blood. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're like, let me go call this guy, and fucking, you're trying to like maintain like a low cover. Like you're not even supposed to be here.
Yeah,
not even supposed to be here today.
Well,
everyone's.
Well, I was gonna say, I fucking love the liquor store employee showing up. I was like, hey, that guy. Like,
yeah. Yeah, he's like, let's get fucked up.
He's got like a whole case of like cheap. It's like $14.95 a case. It's like, ugh.
Oh my God. Basically, Fogel's having drinks with Michaels and Slater, and how great is this sequence? They give the tape to Fogel, and Fogel's like, any ladies want to see here? And you see like Slater's face just kind of like sink. He's like, damn it. And Michael's like, you don't want to make it meet a chick at the bar, man. And dude, this story is hilarious. Yeah, that night she had group sex. I wasn't in it. I was. So, Michael's just being like, yeah, I was.
Oh.
But I heard it through the wall. But I met the missus at paintball. Yeah, shot her in the neck and we hit it off.
Well, dude, I don't want to go past like the last part of Jonah Hill at that party when he's just like, where the woman's like, hey, do you want a tampon? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, fuck me, right?
Yeah, at
the toilet.
Yeah, it's just a line for the bathroom. What does it look like? Yeah, fuck me, right? that is fucking great. But yeah, this is where Bill Hader just like shines, dude. This is like he is so like in his zen moment, man. Like he absolutely crushes it. Yeah, because this is like this story feels so real. I was like, you know, if you want to meet chicks, you got to go to a spin class, a farmer's market, a fucking pumpkin patch. You know, given the time of year. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, I think this is one of Bill Hader's like best scenes, honestly. Just because he just carries it. You can tell he's just
he's so natural. There's just something about him, dude.
Yeah, he's like, I met her at this bar, brought her beignets, complimented her on her tote bag. Next thing I know, she's putting her mouth around the tip of my penis. I'm like, holy shit, dude! Well, he
escalated so quickly.
He plays it so well, like a Vietnam vet, like reminiscing about war. Like it's like, holy shit, dude! Like,
but how great is when they fake the call and the shot goes back to the bartender and the bartender's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. I love it. He's like, oh, sorry, we can't pay for these drinks. They fucking leave.
Oh my God, it's great. Is this the one where they changed the radio back and it's like, oh, there's blood everywhere? Is that this one?
I think so. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. When he gets the radio call, and he's just like, "Oh my God, all units respond!" And he just like turns it off. Oh God.
Oh my God. Sets down in the basement, washing his period blood. Finds the alcohol. He finds the alcohol, pours out that, what is it, detergent?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that's not gonna work, man.
Dude, that's hey, you're about to kill everyone at that party.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, that's fucking crazy.
Meanwhile, Evan's been put into this fucking weird situation.
Yeah, because like I've You know, I've like I've been at some parties, you know, where shit like that got like busted out, and it's always in like the side room, like away from the party. But right. You know when this is going to happen, and it's like, all right, I need to get out of here.
Right? Yeah, no, that's 100%. I was going to say that. Like, I haven't been in that situation, like where I feel too intimidated to leave, but I do know, like, of just like going to a party and like just finding like a weird kind of like side party that's happening. And just like walking up to it and being like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah. Nothing happens in those side rooms off. Like, nothing good happens like off at those side rooms. It's always something like, hey, everybody here to get fucked up, and like, we're here to get like really fucked up. You know, it's like, oh,
yeah, we're here to get fucking buck wild.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the guys is David Krumholtz. He's been in heaps of shit, man. He was in, have you seen 10 Things I Hate About You?
No.
Oh my God, how dare you? Whatever. He's been in heaps of shit. Yeah. This is Michael Cera's best scene, I think.
Oh yeah, these eyes.
It has to be, right?
But
I love the way his voice just fades out.
Yeah, they're like, come do a line of cocaine. No, I'm okay.
Oh my God! But they mistaken him for someone's brother. But I love how fucked up that guy is, the one that drove up from Scottsdale. If you look at him, dude, like he is like pacing out, like he's like doing these long blinks. It's hilarious, man. See, there's a lot of like cutting back and forth. So
right.
I'm just gonna have to take it the way the movie goes, because I can't do it any other way, unfortunately. We cut back to the cops and Fogel. I love the way they're using this breathalyzer.
Yeah, it's like they're like putting bets on it, like seeing who's over or under and shit. Like, that's great.
Like, dude, they remind me of if it wasn't Nicholas Angel, but just like Nick Frost's character times 2. Like, this is what would happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
From Hot Fuzz. Like, absolutely, right? It has to be. Point 0.08, motherfuckers.
Well, that and they let McLovin hold the gun, and that homeless guy is still fucking knocked out in the back of the cop car.
He's still fucking knocked out of the back. But I love how it's like, shoot off.
Yeah, they kind of like tipped him in. He's like, yeah, except for Michael's here, he's a terrible shot, and it's like, oh, what the fuck?
It's like having 2 cocks. Oh my God. We cut back to Evan and he's just fucking belting it out.
Yeah, I love it.
I was going to say, one of the guys as well is the guy from Knocked Up who agrees to grow out his beard, and basically they're just giving him shit the entire movie.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that was him. It's him like sitting in the chair with the fedora on. Like, yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Like, the guy doing all the coke is over there starting to cry and shit.
Dude is full crying. He's like in tears.
Well, I love when they cut back to Seth Rogen. He's just like, "Oh, hey, you got blood on your leg too, blood brother. Shut the fuck up."
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
You said Seth Rogen.
Yeah, see, because he's essentially he like is Seth Rogen, you know, and that's what's like fucking me up.
I know. That's why whenever I say Seth, it's very easy for me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean. But yeah, basically. The janitor walks into the fucking room and he's like, fight!
Yeah. I love that. You were dancing off of my fiance. I'm actually not that good of a dancer. But yeah, I love these kind of scenes because, you know, he fucking chucks the bottle and hits the cokehead in the head with the bottle, and then she hits like Jonah Hill with a lamp. And he's like, use my leg as a fucking tampon.
I love Michael Cera, like, stuck at the bottom of that fucking 3-way.
Yeah, he's like underneath Juggernaut from the X-Men. Get him, Jimmy's brother, hold him.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah, she's got an annoying voice, by the way. I'm calling the cops.
Oh God, yeah. And yeah, they fucking take off out of there. But then they cut back to McLovin too, like them shooting the stop sign.
It's so wrong, but it's hilarious.
That's fucking the funniest part of that is just like they're shooting the stop sign, and then the cops show up and they run from the cops as the cops. Yeah. And you know, it's such a simple movie, but I love the
sometimes I do love the cinematography, like the shot of the beers falling off the back.
Yeah, that's great. They shoot night really well. I like that.
They do. You're a fucking pussy. Oh, Jesus. Car 98, that's you. You dumb fucking whore. Oh, boy. So basically they're responding to this house party. We cut back to Seth and Evan. You bailed on me. I didn't bail on you. Blah, blah, blah. We need some drama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
and I guess it's kind of like in service to the whole the college thing.
Yeah, well, this kind of made me also feel like the scene in Shaun of the Dead where he's like, you always fuck things up and make me look stupid, and blah, blah, blah. And, we've totally got a Shaun of the Dead, like, kind of dynamic here, but it's not quite the same. It's like Seth, Jonah / Seth is not, he's not, like, as bad as Nick Frost character often that, but, like, I think they both kind of have like points on each other though. Like there's a couple of like digs they take on each other, but like they are kind of like, they both have something to say that's kind of that's kind of I don't know. It's kind of true about each other. Whether or not it's like it's even relevant to the points that they're trying to make. They are kind of like making digs on each other that are sticking a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Slater and Michaels are playing Star Wars with their torches. And they fucking hit Jonah Hill, which, by the way, this would kill him. This would break his back. Like, he gets destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking great, man. This whole situation is awesome. I love Michael Cera's reaction, man. Like, he's just completely shocked. The shot of the alcohol falling out of the tub.
It's kind of sinister, as you're watching. You're like, man, this is dark. This is fucking dark.
Yeah, absolutely. But I love these two cops just fucking bickering, man. Like, fuck that. You go check on him.
Yeah, you check on him. Fuck that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Pussies on the pavement, fellas. That's another line that we quote all the time.
I think this is one of the most iconic shots of the whole movie is Michael Cera getting up and just booking it, dude. Like that is it's shot so well. It's such a wide shot, and it's so pulled back. Like there's so much going on. I mean, you can literally see from like one side of the sidewalk to the other one, and you see like all the street lights in the background. It's like, God, this is fucking awesome. But I love Bill Hader. They kind of like have a little huddle, just like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, get on the fucking ground. Like just like turn on.
Spread your shit. Spread your shit. Bill Hader's great here, man. Like I love the intensity. Oh god.
Well, at least they didn't call down a fucking helicopter.
Holy shit, right? McLovin bailed, blah blah blah. Well, obviously they see McLovin, right? Like he walks out looking like a boss with a cigarette.
Yeah, and like the cut under his eye, and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Like what a weird night. Like I've never been to a party and had a weird night like this. I have had nights that just have like blown out into like what the fuck just happened, but nothing like this.
When Fogel's walking out, and he's smoking the cigarette, and it cuts to Jonah Hill and real slow mo. He's like, Fagel? It's like real slow mo.
I love just basically it's just kind of like a foot chase, right? Like it's cutting between Seth Rogen and Michael Cera, just like in the chase, and then you got like Bill Hader like kicking out the windshield, and the fucking bum wakes up. And Bill Hader's like, whoa!
I love the way Michael Cera runs, dude. Like he's booking it, leaving Seth Rogen in the dust. Like even though he runs like a fucking emu, like a big bird.
Yeah. That's a fast kid. That's a fast kid alive.
Yeah, I love the shot of Michael Cera just dipping into the darkness like that. Yeah, that is really cool, dude. I love the way that looks.
Right, and like it was things like that kind of like lended to like this comedy. It's kind of like a touch above the rest. Like it feels a bit bigger in terms of production value. I don't know how, but it does. Back in the day, at least. Well, whatever. They cut across the neighborhoods. By the way, dude, this guy that comes out swinging with the bat is Seth Rogen's dad.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. He fucking beams Jonah. Jonah Hill in the back of that thing.
He gets fucking nailed.
Oh, dude, that is so fucking great because he bumps him and he gets to right back up. And he's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's Seth Rogen's dad. Fucking hilarious, man. But I love Bill Hader just fucking driving around. McLovin!
He's like looking for a lost dog.
Their number one priority is to locate this fucking teenager. He comes across Michael's basically throwing up his fucking last 3 meals.
He's a freak. He's the fastest man alive. Fastest kid alive, my ass. I love that. He's the fastest kid alive.
Yeah. I love how he just shoots his gun in the air.
I'll scare him out of wherever he's hiding. It cuts to Michael Cera. He's like, oh god, they killed Seth. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, they shot him. They shot Seth. Oh boy. But basically the 3 meet up. They catch a bus. Hey, it's you, McMuffin.
This homeless guy kind of looks like James Cameron on Hard Times. Like he looks like he's just gone down a rough patch. Like,
well done. Yeah, actually, he kind of does. Actually, this is James Cameron after these new Avatar sequels will fail.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I spent so much time on this, and they fucked it up. Oh boy. And this is kind of like where we get the split, right? Like the Gold Slick shatters. You do get a little bit more adventuring, I guess. Like they go towards the party, but then after that, that's when they sort of split.
Yeah, because we get where they kind of make off with their with the their enchanted ladies of the evening. Yeah, and we also find out that this is where Seth finds out that they're going to be rooming together, which is like it's still not a fucking big deal, man. Like I don't get it. Like it's like, dude, just chill. Like it's not a fucking big deal.
See, right? That's what I was going to ask you because like college works different there than it does here. Like we don't stay on campus.
Oh, okay.
Like we can, but we don't have to.
Well, I think I don't know if it's just Seth's position. Like he just wished, like, dude, you don't have to hide that for me, like that kind of thing. But I think that I think that Evan totally. He's like, well, I kind of have to, dude. Because you fucking rag this dude like all the time. Like you've always fucking ragged this dude, and like anything that Evan likes, like it's like Seth just does. He fucking makes fun of the girl and like the friends that he hangs out with, and like all this type of shit. So like I don't know if it's more of that kind of thing, but it is kind of odd that he's just so hung up on it. I'm like, dude, it's not a big deal. Like if you guys were going to the same college, I'd understand that, but like it's not even an option. I just don't get it.
Yeah, it might just be kind of in service to the story, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
But basically they all kind of like part ways, and this is like that. It's a little tropey. This is that kind of like third act stuff that you get in movies a lot, where like, oh, the heroes are kind of like disbanded, like how are they going to get back together, like all that bullshit. Seth rocks up to the party with the fucking jugs of alcohol, which, by the way, if any of the teenagers drink from this, they're like stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't know why I love that shot of the slow motion shot of like Jonah Hill walking with Emma Stone, and the music just pipes up. I dig it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's kind of like a victory lap. Fuck. This whole scene is just so. It's tough to talk about because it flitters between each character so much.
Yeah, right. It's literally, well, if you want to break it down, it's like everything going on with their chicks, like, Seth's doing the shots with the party goers because they're all like, yeah, Seth, and I actually do kind of like that moment because he just had such a low point that he's like, it's what if in screenwriting you want to call it like the dark night of the soul or whatever, like it's like the lowest point of the thing, but then we're seeing like McLovin, start dancing with the chick, and we see Michael Cera going over and oh yeah, but if I have sex with her and she's already drunk, isn't that kind of unethical? She's like, she said she would fully blow you, like not half or like 3/4, but fully. And then I like seeing that scene with Jonah Hill taking shots with people and stuff, and like
let's do another one to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but man, Emma Stone, she's just charming. She's so charming.
She is. No, she is. We'll get to the scene, like the big scene with her and Seth in a sec. But yeah, you're right. Like they are kind of like charming each other's girls and things like that. I love the shot of Like, just the moment of Fogel, like, seeing that girl he saw earlier with the G-string and, like, he's, like, remembering all the moments.
Yeah. That one, it being paired up with Michael Cera in the bathroom, like, all right, down the hatch. He takes a sip and just like, spits that shit everywhere.
She wants to suck on your penis. He's, like, sucking himself up, man. I love it.
Yeah.
But this was a really smart twist on the story that I wasn't expecting. Basically, Seth is all fucked up, and he's like, "Here, you're like, you can drink, right?" And she's like, "No, I'm good. I'm sober. Like, I'm not drinking." Like,
yeah.
I love that, dude. I wasn't expecting that. It was great.
I wasn't either. Like, it kind of threw me off when, like, everybody's taking shots and we never see her drink, and she's not like, "Oh my god, I'm so drunk," like blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's different because I'm not. Yeah, I was expecting that, because we're conditioned to that. We're used to seeing it, but it's not there, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. I like that.
Right. We cut back to Evan and Becca. They're in the bedroom. I'm going to suck on your toe.
Like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's what you're gonna say? Okay. He's so fucking weird. The sweater, it's vintage. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like that's what he's worried about.
For sure. Jonah kisses Jules, and she takes it pretty well, actually.
Yeah, it's like she's more just like, all right, calm down there, big fella. Yeah.
She's just fantastic. I love her reaction as well. Like the way it's shot as well. It's kind of like this. You pretty much see it from her perspective. Like, I love her eyes. Like the way it just kind of like she's like, "What the fuck is happening?" And like the way she pushes him off. And dude, just like his plan was his downfall. Like his plan was like, I have to get her drunk and then she'll fuck me. When she's like here, she's like, well, I mean, you're drunk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the barrier.
Right,
like,
yeah.
You did this to yourself. Like, it's great. It's fantastic.
It's actually, this is like kind of what I was talking about with like Evan and Jules earlier, because it's like they both have kind of the same predicament versus where Jonah and Becca have the same predicament. It's like, there's just too much alcohol. Like, you don't need, like, the person that you're kind of like reciprocating feelings for doesn't really need that. Like, I don't need you to be blackout drunk, in order for, just to be around you. Like, that's fun. Like, I it'd be different if they would have like had a couple of dates under their belts or they were hanging out or whatever. Then it would be a very different situation, But it's like I'm still kind of getting to know you. Can we like slow the slow the wheels down a little bit? Yeah, exactly. I like that. I like that they kind of have the same problem but on opposite ends. I like that. I think that's really cool.
Right. It's fantastic. It's actually a really great and tight screenplay. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic, man. Becca, I don't understand why you have to be such a little bitch about it.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, damn, dude.
Like that went from like 0 to like minus 100 in fucking 60 seconds, dude. And then she just fucking throws up right next to him. And I'm like, whoa, that's when you know to call it quits.
Yeah,
see ya.
He's just look over in the corner and there's Ron Burgundy. He's like, that escalated quickly.
Fogel, I got a boner.
Yeah, he's the only one who actually ends up doing like anything, even though it's minimal.
Right,
like.
And that's funny, right? Like, how funny is that? Because it's literally like, oh, okay, this kid's not getting fucking laid. See ya.
Right, yeah. And
but hey.
What's so funny is he busts out a condom and lubricant, and like we literally had a conversation between Seth and Evan where he's like, "Don't bring lubricant, you fucking Charles Manson motherfucker."
Yeah. Yeah, they're not dried up old ladies. They're good to go. Fuck, how do we skip past that, man? Anyway, fucking Seth headbutts Jules.
Oh god,
apparently
good.
That was a real thing. Apparently, she wasn't expecting it, and that was real.
God damn, really? Because I heard her reaction was improvised, but like God, I wonder how hard he fucking popped her in the face with that huge ass head of his.
Yeah, dude. And he's just fucking down. Like he's out. He's out for the count. And the police rock up. Our favorite cops.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Party's still going on, guys. We will shoot you.
We will shoot you. I love the way they just clear out this house, man. It's fantastic. These guys just we need more Seth Rogen and we need more Bill Hader. It's just I want to see more.
Yeah, that would be a great Other Guy sequel. I would fucking watch the shit out of that, man.
Right. It's in. Oh my god, it's in. So, yeah, man. Apparently, Christopher Mintz-Plasse' mother had to be here.
Oh, yeah, because he was underage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's awkward.
Like, can you imagine? Oh, hey, Mom.
What's really funny is when the cops roll up to the door and they're like, "Hey, drop your Apple Teeny sugar tits," and they take off. Like that kid at the door with the glasses on is from Hot Tub Time Machine and Sex Drive.
Clark Duke.
Yeah, Clark Duke. There you
go.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious, man. He's really good in Sex Drive.
Yeah, he's that overconfident guy that gets laid all the time, right? Isn't that him?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in The Office as well in season 9. Yeah, season 9. But yeah, basically, Bill Hader and Michael Slater just bust in on Fogel having sex.
I assume you all have guns and crack.
Oh, I love these cops. These two are absolutely my favorite part of this movie, man. I just fucking love them so much. I think I love when they sit them down and they're like, "Yeah, we knew what you were this whole time.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry that I blocked your cock."
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting that. You know, I was just like, "Wow, these guys are fucking losers."
Yeah, for sure, dude. But basically, well, do you think you can do me a really big favor? I love what they do for him as well. It's great.
Yeah, I love fucking Bill Hader dancing in the living room before they bust in on him. He's
that one shot of him like with the drinks.
Yeah, he's like, when they bust in, he's like, "I thought we were friends." It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But I love the way they're carrying out Fogel. It's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna break your glasses, you fucking cop. You can't hold me." And they're like, "This guy's crazy." They don't even like. You can tell like they're not even like that invested in it. They're like, "Oh yeah, this guy's crazy. Step back." The guy fucking spits. Oh my god, when this guy spits on Slater. Oh my god, his reaction is fucking gold. He looks at the spit and he's like, "Whack."
That's so fucking great. I mean,
and like, you know what makes it better? Nice mullet, asshole.
Yeah, nice mullet. That's like, oh my god, he's nuts. We caught him, the infamous Fogel.
Yeah. And then you guys are probably back to Fogel's right arm, and he's like, this guy's crazy.
Wait for me on the outside. He yells from the back of the cop car. It's so fucking funny.
I love Seth Rogen's like fucking hand through the fucking windshield, like, "Step back." Oh my god!
Are you carrying me? No, I'm saving you from the cops.
Yeah, fucking go, fucking throw up. No, it's fantastic. Yeah, this is a great moment. But basically, we cut back to Michaels and Slater fucking up the car. And man, talk to me about this.
Yeah, because I remember this was like a big part of the trailer and stuff. Like this was like a big selling point because I don't know how big this was over in Australia, but like this movie was fucking huge here. Like especially in Tennessee, like here, like this is part of very many many like DVD collections. Like I've seen this in everybody's fucking stack, but
oh yeah, it's in mine for sure.
Just them doing donuts and like the progression of this car, like it's like the dude in Big Lebowski. Like the progression of the destruction of this car is so fucking great. But because like what he's going like 60 or 70 through that fucking parking lot listening to Panama by Van Halen. I'm like, holy
dude,
shit.
Like that's nearly 100 for us. Like that's highway, motorway, fucking speed limits.
Yeah, but just him losing control and Seth Rogen just being like, oh fuck. Like
I love the moment he loses control though. Like Bill Hader's like face.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus!
But dude, they immediately their first reaction is to get him out of the car and then like light the fucking thing on fire. Just like Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, Oh, god damn it!
How do you report this on Monday morning, dude? Like,
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, how do you what paperwork do you file? Like, what? Like, these guys are getting fired. These guys are actually getting locked up.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it, we won. Like, yeah, and then they're all kind of like, oh fuck. Can we shoot?
I love. Michael's walking up with the Molotov cocktail. Don't blow yourself up, asshole.
And yeah, they give Mick Fogel, as I want to call him. They give him the good. Can I shoot at it? I don't know. Can you?
Can you? Oh, it's great, man. It's fantastic. It's. I love this movie so much. We get our little, kind of like we're making up scene, right? Mm-hmm. Like the sleeping bags. I love this moment, but this is the moment that I least remember in this movie, only because it's probably the most stories, like the story important movie, like moment. What do you think?
Well, I think because there's so much. I think there's so much action going on, like right before this, and we just settle us back down. We're kind of like, oh man, but we just kind of want to keep partying, but it's like, no, we got to kind of settle down, like, and have our little, kind of like a reconnection. I like it. I like it a lot.
See, but we've all had conversations like this with our bromances, right? I mean, like, I love you. I'm not even embarrassed to say it. I love you, man. Like it's so relatable. Like, if I was drunk enough, if I was with there right now, I'd be like, oh, and I love you, man. Slurring my speech and shit.
Just spilling your drink on somebody.
Probably. That's probably going to happen. And then the fucking helicopter lands in the backyard.
That's the second story involving you and fucking helicopters I've heard in the last 2 weeks. Like, get it together, man.
What?
Like the one where
what was the other one?
You and Matt were recording, and that fucking
oh my god, right?
That fucking helicopter landed in your backyard. Like, I thought you'd have a flashback and be like, oh god, they're back.
Oh my god, dude! It didn't even occur to me. The listeners are probably like, "Holy shit!" Like, because that was literally on the last episode, I think, or second last.
Yeah,
like that's fuck. Sorry, guys. I swear I'm not a delinquent.
I love that as they're laying there. I missed you too. Boop, boop, boop. It's like popping him on the nose.
Oh Jesus! Your mom's got huge tits. Oh my god! But yeah, they're at the mall the next day. They're trying on jeans. So fucking gay. But I was like, these are too tight. Yep, these are too tight. Way too tight. You need to upgrade. And basically they come across Becca and Jules, and you know what? Like, this right here is like the moral of the story. Like, you don't need to go to great lengths to get these girls inebriated and, fucked up to be with them. You can just make it happen. It's good. It's good, moral. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too, because it's like, yeah, just like cool your jets, dude. It's not, it's not. I don't know. It's great because it's just it's set up in that kind of like 80s party. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get laid, like blah, and it ends up being like a total flip of the script where it's like, no, that's not cool anymore. Nobody likes being around that dude. That dude grew up to be a drunk asshole. Nobody likes that guy. Like, these are good guys, they're not terrible people. They don't need to do that. And they know like the kind of like the moral implications of like what, like, he even says that he's like, that's kind of unethical, isn't it? Like, he's even like openly talking about it, like, while it's going on. That's great. It's a good flip of the script.
Absolutely, man. And I think that's another reason why I didn't really like it, man. Like, back in the day, everyone was talking about it like it was this big, vulgar, crazy, envelope pushing movie, and it is and it's not. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you I would say if you have a problem with like language, then that's one thing. But it's like, dude, it's not really. I mean, it's just language. That's really all. There's not any like there's not really any nudity. Right. Like that. This could have been a lot more envelope pushing, and it's not.
Right. Absolutely, and I think. I can't really think of a movie like this that has this kind of ending.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you think about Van Wilder and American Pie, even Girl Next Door. I can't remember how that ended, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Everybody, it's kind of like I said earlier, those movies are bullshit. They're dream realities of what, of what kind of like what they tell us as guys we should want to attain. Like, oh yeah, we should want to be popular and like the guy at the party that everybody's liking, we should get this girl, the one that we want, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like, nah, like that's just not like, the only thing I can really think of is kind of like, Michael J. Fox's movie Teen Wolf, like he's after this, head cheerleader blonde girl the whole time, and at the end he's just kind of like, nah, I'm good. Like when she advances him, he's like, nah, I'm fine, and he goes with like the girl next door, the girl who's been there all along, like that kind of thing. And I like that kind of ending because it's just anything that takes that typical thing and just kind of like, nah, like we're not going to do that. I do find it like just like have you ever like I've had this experience once where I was like at a party and hanging out and like and I went to this bedroom and it was like there were two beds in there and they're two like single beds, so like one girl sleeping in.
Is this about to get wild?
No. Well, I mean kind of, but she's sleeping in one bed and I literally walked in. I was like, hey, I'm just sleeping in the other bed, so just ignore me or whatever. And I'm
oh yeah. No, that's happened to me. Yeah, for sure, dude.
Have they started like crying afterwards and just started, dude, drunken, just like crying about shit that I'm like, oh god, dude, and I can't just walk out of the room. Like, what an asshole, So I have to like sit there and kind of take care of this person. And I was like, oh man, this is, dude. This. I mean, I didn't have any intentions when I came in here, but this is not what I intended at all. Like, this is like not what I thought was going to happen, if anything. Like, holy shit,
dude. I'm not even kidding. I have been in that situation.
Oh god, it's fucking
absolutely. I at that point it was late in the night and I just wanted to fucking go to bed, but you just can't. Like you can't. Yeah. We can. By the way, we can probably do a special feature on our drunken stories like this. Like this, like you know what I mean. I guarantee you, we can like fill up a whole episode full of this shit.
Well, one thing I love is that as they're, as we're ending and they're going down the escalator, and that it's
great visual. By the way,
it is a great visual, but I think it's really telling that it's Jonah Hill who's the last to look away. He's the one that has trouble letting go of this. Like he's the one who's kind of having dependency issues, if you want to say it that way.
Sure.
So I love that, and I love the fade to black. That's like an old school movie kind of feel that doesn't really happen a lot anymore. Like I love that. We just movies where they just walk into a crowd and we kind of pan back and they just disappear in the crowd and the screen goes black gets me right in the fucking feels, man, because that's like how a lot of older movies used to be. I remember growing up, just letting them fade into like the crowd, and I fucking love that. I love that so much.
I weirdly agree with you. This was I remember when this ended and I was like, oh, okay, that was the movie. Because, like I said, I was a little disappointed the first time I saw this. I was like, yeah, it was alright. It wasn't as full on, and because back then you're not looking for the morals, like you're not really looking for any meaning. Like I said, you just want to see tits and ass. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this movie after multiple viewings, man, grew and grew and grew. And it's now probably one of the most watched movies I've ever seen in my life. In the 11 years I've seen it, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen it. It's just so readily available to me on Netflix and shit, and even on DVD, man. I like sometimes I pop it in and just kind of even have it on in the background. It's just such a great background movie as well. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes I remember we used to play poker, me and some mates at his place, at my mate's place, and we just picked a movie and it was fucking Superbad. I absolutely love this movie, man. I really, really, really glad we got to cover it. It's a fantastic movie. It's hilarious. It's insightful. At the time, it was groundbreaking. Great performances. Great dialogue, man. Dialogue doesn't get any better than this in terms of comedy for me. Like, this is just so quotable. And it's brilliant. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I've pretty much said everything that I want to say. I think it's a great coming of age movie. It also kind of has, I don't want to say like political correctness. It's not trying to be politically correct. It's a legitimate movie where it's like, yeah, this thing that the guys have done for like decades and just get a girl plastered. And, that's how we, Like that's like it's crazy that was just the typical story for so long, and the fact that they flipped that is fucking awesome. All the characters are great. This blew up a lot of people like really well. And I launched like the good line of like the highly improvised comedies like Superbad and like like This Is the End and like Pineapple Express and stuff like that. And you know what's great is that those movies haven't gone on forever. Like they kind of stopped after a few of them, and I'm like, cool, I like that. Like these guys went on to do other stuff. You know, they're doing serious stuff now. Especially
right, Jonah Hill is like in Oscar shit. Like,
right, yeah,
you know, Wolf of Wall Street and things like that.
And it's so hard for him to break that typecast. And I'm really glad to see that he has. And you know, Michael Cera is just, I think he's just always going to be like in comedy, you know, and that's probably just where he feels comfortable. You know, he likes doing stuff like that. But you know, stuff like Juno and Scott Pilgrim and things like that. And I love this movie. I think it's great. I will probably buy it at some point. It's a really good coming of age story, and I've you know, we should just do like a special episode where we talk about shit like this that have happened on nights where we're running from people or fights and shit like that have happened, because I've got a few of those stories as well. But you know, all in all, I would give this like a straight 8 out of 10. I thought it was great. I think at the time, like I didn't like it at the time because of how overhyped it was and the way people were trying to portray it to me in a certain way. And I was like, man, you know, it's like, you know, it's like that movie Project X. Like, oh, it's fucking awesome. It's like, no, this is similar, but this movie has so much more heart and soul behind it.
Yeah,
and
Project X is a bit. It's way too shallow.
Right, exactly. It's very shallow and pedantic. But yeah, I like this movie a lot. I'm glad we covered it. You know, and it's good to have. You know, we've covered a really iconic British like horror film, and now a really iconic like American one. And I think it's the best teen comedy to come out in like the last like 10 or 20 years. Honestly, I can't think of another one that really holds a candle to it in terms of like, you know, comedy, in terms of humor, and you know, those are the same fucking thing. In terms of humor, or in terms of like heart and script writing and stuff, and it's really good. And like I said, anything that has kind of the fingerprints from Freaks and Geeks on it, just that you don't know how they do it, but they're just so aware of like all the social, like, oh, I'm supposed to eat alone, like that fucking guy, you know. It's like, dude, it's so crazy,
right?
Just how well,
it's perfect.
Yeah, even though we don't know anything about that dude, we know that for some odd reason that guy's just fucking weird, and that's why he eats alone. Like we understand because we've been there before. But yeah, I mean,
but you know what it is, man. Like you can full on like imagine what it is. It's literally either Seth Rogen or Evan Goldberg, and they're probably sitting together in the writer's room being like, remember that guy back in high school who like did this? And they're like, oh yeah, let's write him in. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, man. I love that shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I've got to say. I wish Matt could have been on this episode, because I think, you know, I mean, God, we'd have like just with the three of us, like we would have had like a 4-hour long podcast over a movie that's like 2 hours long.
Oh, absolutely.
But
yeah, man, this was. Oh no, I was just gonna say you gave a score, so I'm just gonna give mine. And like, if you haven't guessed already, it's probably either 9.5 or like a 10. It's like perfect for me.
Yeah, and just how simple this movie is. I mean, it was like a $20 million movie that made like $120 million. Like this thing knocked it out of the park. And like I said, launched a lot of careers. And you know, God, here's to hoping they never try to make a sequel to this fucking thing. Please don't cash that in like 20 years, you know, after you've gone in serious stuff. Like, please don't try to do that.
You know what I get reminded of? The sequence in This Is the End, when they're like, we're gonna make a Pineapple Express 2, and you know who we're gonna do? We're gonna assassinate Woody Harrelson.
The only way I would watch Superbad 2 is if Evan and Seth are the cops now. That's the only way I'm watching that fucking movie.
That'd be awesome, dude.
But yeah, I mean, you got anything else you want to add?
Not really, dude. I mean, you know, I'm sure everyone heard us beating out our socials in the mid-roll, advertising, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but we can do it again.
We look like sellouts. We look like sellouts. No,
let's go down to the local corner and sell our bodies.
But yeah, I mean, you guys know Instagram at Midnight Double Feature, Facebook at Midnight Double Feature. We got the after party, which is connected to that. Everybody's invited. You can find us at Twitter at MDF Pod. You can find us on YouTube. Please rate and review us on iTunes if you can. Don't care if it's 1 star. Don't care if it's 5 stars. Just give us what you think we're worth, and we will catch you guys later.